Hello, everybody. It's Johan. In this episode, we do bring up some rather sensitive topics, so consider this a content warning, and viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the inventory. I'm your host, Detective Johan, and with me today I have my co-host, as usual, SPNatI. Why don't you say hello?
When's the last time you actually had detective in your handle?
God, it's not been forever. Just starting going by Johan.
You've just been Johan for a while.
I guess. Okay, I'm your host, just Johan. With me today I have my co-host, as usual, SPNatI. Why don't you say hello?
Hello. I've always been Spinanon.
And we've got our two guests, both of which are returning. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Detective 2010 Mantis.
Who sounds just like Namasp.
Who sounds just like Nmasp, apparently.
Go watch last episode with the Masp in it.
Yep, I am the cloned Nmasp. I create other Little Witch Academia characters, and probably at a slightly faster rate than him.
That's true.
That is true.
You've got 1.5, he's got 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And our other guest?
Hi, I'm Server Architect. I used to be known as Faraway Vision, and I'm probably going to continue to be known as Faraway Vision for some time.
You're the architect?
Yes.
Like from the Matrix?
Let's go with that, yeah.
That's cool.
I've been messing around with servers all week.
I imagine that you're
shit
going
went down this week. A lot of
Everything
shit
caught-
went down. The game just completely fucked.
Everything caught fire.
Yeah.
I'm
And I was
amazed
the
you
only
have time
person
for
with a
this.
fire extinguisher.
But we'll let Vision explain it in a more clinical way at some point.
Yeah. With introductions out of the way, let's move on to the changes to the characters. There's not been a lot after our first summer boom, but I'm going to be able to be somewhat vague and ominous about upcoming stuff in a bit. For now, let's start with Rin getting added to testing.
Rin from?
Katawa Shoujo.
Is it going to become like the next Fire Emblem?
It
Apparently.
can't. It can't. There's only 6 girls. There's only 6. Well, there are only
mean,
main
You make
girls.
this out.
There's only 6 main girls. I could super see somebody making like at least 2 or 3 of the side girls.
There's no way. There's no way it'll happen.
Maybe even Kenji.
Listen. There's so many of my Hanako lines that I wrote thinking, no one will make another Katawa Shoujo girl.
Why did you think that?
Because it's
Why
not gonna
wouldn't they?
Katawa
'Cause
Shoujo
it's-
is popular.
But there's so much effort into making those models.
I made 2 Vandred girls thinking, okay, no one will make another one, and people, you could understand that.
I didn't think
Nobody's
anybody
fucking
would
heard
put
of
in
it.
the effort to posing models like that. But okay, so I thought maybe Lily, maybe Shizune, because their models, you wouldn't have to go and do any special editing to make them. But then we got the 2 that do take special editing, and I'm sitting here wearing my clown makeup because I'm a fool. I put so much on the line that no one will ever make them, and then they did.
You know, Hanako is currently being advertised on the 4chan Eiko thread as one of the poster girls, so maybe we'll get even more.
Anyway, thoughts on Rin?
Last year was like the year of Doki Doki Literature Club. Now we're backing up. Now we're going to Katawa Shoujo.
What's
Sweet.
next then?
I don't
I'm
know,
in
another
here.
visual novel with a bunch of girls.
Think I'm wrong.
Our interest leads the push for more Clannad.
He already made mock-up models for that Nagisa epilogue that doesn't exist anymore. And fooled one very interesting member of the community.
Where's player Q? Kyo, whatever.
We have Q.
Mantis, what are your thoughts on Rin?
Rin is extraordinarily well done. I'm in,
No, that's Hanukkah.
well, okay.
Like clockwork.
Wow, you had that one ready.
He uses it almost
Ready to serve.
God damn it, that one's
Like
new.
Hanukkah?
Yep.
No, no, I'm incredibly impressed with how they've done her arms. I have literally no idea what wizardry went behind doing that. I'm just amazed on that front. I will
Kinda
also
looks
say,
like her arms could be speech bubbles or something.
I believe they're accessories.
Uh,
Now
I
that
mean,
the
you could just make the arms really small.
character editor has you can isolate parts now.
That's true. I used that
oh,
to get hair like backs for butt poses.
oh,
Ooh, that's new tech I haven't thought of.
that makes sense.
I've just been reproducing it from scratch. All right.
Because now my models are too complicated to just like take the default hair and use that. So just gotta import just the hair. But sorry, I interrupted you, Mantis.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I'm learning. That's some cool stuff. Uh, the other big thing about Rin I'm really impressed with is Rin's dialogue. Rin is probably by far the hardest Kawa Shoujo character to write for, in my opinion, and I am extremely impressed with how they just nailed it. Because it's a dialogue that, like, it doesn't really have as much focus or like anything to base on like the other characters do. So that's just incredibly cool. Some of the things I think need a little bit of improvement is just generally more targeting within Kadoa Shoujo, but I mean that goes for all three of them, to be fair. Johan, get on that. Come on, man. And the second thing is her masturbation is kind of awkward looking.
Well, she has to use her feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, if she just used her feet and like didn't use them to hold a toy, but like I don't know, you could get some pretty creative posing with that. But it'd take a lot of editing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you need metal guitar.
Can you I don't think you can. I guess you can kind of put your heel to it. your crotch. You can't really get your toes that way. Your legs
Yes, you
don't bend that
can.
way. Okay, if you're a fucking contortionist, maybe.
Well, I can put both legs behind my head, so I might be.
That's not what I said, asshole.
Well, no. My point is that I'm a very nimble man.
Johan, have you ever given yourself a foot job?
No, but I could.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Ren.
Let's let that one sink in, I guess.
No, let's sweep it under the rug and move on.
I'm trying to like think of a way to tell him to just make a video of it without actually making a video of him giving himself a foot job because I don't want to see that.
Just put a banana, like.
I mean, he made a
banana.
video of him boiling a pizza. So he's got to be able to make this work somehow.
I can make this work.
I think you could make that work.
So, more thoughts on Ren?
Those were my 4 main bullet points I had.
All right.
You actually prepare for this.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I
just
used
jumped
to. Viz, what about
You're getting
you?
the raw candied banana on every single episode.
Rin is one of my favorite. Is like my Kadoba Shoujo best girl.
Yeah, you used her as a profile pic for a while.
Yeah, she's my profile pic on multiple sites. And I'm really excited to see her in game with this amazing artwork. So, yeah. Sorry, I don't have as much to say as 2010 Mantis.
Sorry.
All right, SPNatI, what about you?
Well, okay, this is a tangential thought. Whenever I hear a 2010 Mantis, I think of like 2010 Mantis Magic
What?
instead of
What?
like 24 karat Magic.
Oh,
Whatever.
fair
I just
enough.
had to get that off my train of thought. Okay, so
I feel you.
I had to verbalize that. I don't know a whole lot about Katawa Shoujo, but Rin's actually really cute. I wasn't expecting much from her because she kind of looked like a little defaulty compared to Emmy. I don't know. I don't know what her proportions are compared to Emmy. I know. I guess she's supposed to be kind of small. Emmy is, but see, at first I thought she looked kind of defaulty, but her poses got improved a little bit and got some more movement. And maybe I just like the stoic types, but I really like the sort of like dreamlike quality that a lot of her lines had, where she's just completely head in the clouds. I was surprised by how charming I really found her. So I was happy to see that. I do think some of the posing is still a little like I guess kind of flat. Maybe she's just like that, where she's pretty reserved, but she has
Yes.
she has like one pose where she's like on one leg and like hopping and really dynamic, and so it seemed weird to like just have one of those that was like that. It seemed kind of uncharacteristic, based on all the other ones. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I like the forfeit just because, I mean, toys in general just don't appeal to me. I think my motto in life is there's nothing sexy about plastic.
Not even a Maya figure?
I mean, I believe it's like no, I don't have anime figures. What's the point?
Not even if it was Maya? Not even if it was your wife?
2D is always better than 3D.
I know, exactly. Why not just learn to draw and then draw her? That's how she was meant to be.
Or conversely, recreate her in a doll making program.
Even better. Because then you can pose it and undress it. And by undress, I mean load the the file for a layer down below. Because your clothing's too complicated. But yeah, I really like what I've seen of Rin so far. I was worried that I'm just gonna be like, oh, another Katawa Shoujo character, but they're definitely all unique. They have I don't think they suffer from as much as like the Fire Emblem syndrome, where they're all kind of like generic JRPG princesses, because they all have a pretty unique voice, which makes sense since they're all from the same game, so they need to stand out from each other. But it's really nice to see, and just despite her being like kind of I guess you could say, not very active or I'm trying to think of the right, bombastic and she's kind of just like has a stream of consciousness approach where she like can't think of words and is just generally just kind of sleepy. But a lot of what she said was charming. It wasn't boring. I found myself actually looking to her a lot to see what she was gonna say. So I really liked that. Only thing is that even in like the forfeit dialogue, she didn't really like seem all that sexualized, which you do need to kind of turn up a little bit. I know she's supposed to be kind of dreamy and stuff, but I don't know. That's hard to feel out at first, so I'm not expecting too much from a testing character there. But I was surprised with how much I liked her, especially when she just kind of got dropped in the middle of last podcast.
Yeah.
When I was just like, oh god, you had another person in the summer boom. But it's pretty much stopped over the last 2 weeks, so maybe
Well,
peaks and troughs.
Wow.
Part of the reason for that is that the Git's been on fire.
That's
Yeah.
true. We're not able to submit any updates recently, but we'll get there.
I happen to know that another person is ready to bring back a character.
Is it Gay Spaghetti Chef?
No.
Is
Oh
it
god.
Shaggy?
Is it straight spaghetti chef?
No.
Hmm.
Ferlin is ready to bring back Snake
Oh,
Atlas.
that's right. I actually really liked her. I thought she had potential.
Oh.
Yeah, he's ready just when the Git lab isn't on fire.
Even though she's pushing the no human or no non-human anatomy rule.
the most important parts are human.
What about her
Exactly.
vagina?
It's human.
It is.
Yeah, right?
Do snakes have vaginas?
This one does.
I mean, they're really just a big long penis.
The cutoff is like below.
I don't know anything about snake or bird or any kind of animal anatomy.
My thoughts
I
on
gotta see
Ren
this.
are that she's
Are there
Yeah.
pregnant snakes? Where do the
agree
eggs
with
come out of?
I agree
How do you
with
still
what
go around when you're
SPNanon
pregnant?
said about all the Katawa shoujo characters feeling quite different. Rin is like Emi's best friend, and so playing the
I
two in
can
a
see
game,
why they really complete each other.
yeah, they do. Together,
Together they have a full body.
and
Like a suit.
just the very high energy, very low energy Rin. It's quite interesting. I like dude Rotom is the dude writing her, and I swear he's put in more merge requests in the span of a week than most other people have in the span of like their entire SPNatI development process.
How does Ren fuck? She doesn't have arms.
I don't know. It happens in the game.
What do you grab onto? How can you can't even hold hands with her?
I think that there's a line
That's
she
lewd,
has. There's a line in her game that's like, I think she says something like, "I'm a bad person because I can't hug you" or something.
One of them was like involved Hisao basically just like fingering her, I think. And then the other one was involved like a windowsill.
And then he's like, "Can you finger me?" Oh wait. She can hug you with her legs, which as we all know is far better.
Agreed.
God, her thighs must be unstoppable. So yeah, the dude Sentimental Rotom has already put in a shitload of merge requests, and I can tell that he's very passionate about writing this character, and I think that shows. Speaking of horrifying duck rape, let's talk about Sakina.
That's actually a pretty good segue.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised
gonna be
there's not a chapter of Emergence where she goes to the pond to feed the ducks and they rape her.
That's gonna be such.
Would it be out of place?
No, it really wouldn't.
Fucking confusing segue for everybody else.
And her vagina's not a maze.
Just a smash cut to. And speaking of horrifying duck rape, we're moving on to Saki.
Tell Beta to make that the new epilogue. Duck rape.
Woo!
Wait, I got it. You know those Donald Duck Gooby comics?
Oh god.
Make an Emergence version of that. Saki, please. Wait a minute, Hayato. Are you trying to trick me again?
So, Mantis.
Well, we're 30 minutes in, and we just got to the second topic.
Just getting to the second characters. Awesome.
This is gonna be a long one, I can tell.
Yeah, it is.
This ain't going up on Sunday.
Nope.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. All right. Saki, my opinion on Saki, I pretty much outlined in my sort of Discord review I did of her a few days ago that you guys should really check out. Fucking basically, I'm pretty impressed with Saki. She's super cute, super fun. And I do enjoy that she's like a pre everything awful in the world happening to her kind of character. That's appreciated. Because if it was post, it wouldn't be good. So, you know, she's pretty good.
All right. Viz, what about you?
Saki is a cute, yes. And it's always nice to see new creators just kind of coming into their own. Yeah.
Yep. That it?
Yes.
I can tell you don't prepare for this either.
No, I don't.
We should make
But
him
you've
a
had a lot of
host.
shit on your plate this week.
You're also, I bet, like half distracted trying to put out 10 like mini fires right now, aren't you?
No, actually, not.
Oh,
Everything's finally stabilized.
currently.
Yes.
Okay, SPNatI, what about you?
The removal of Saki's epilogue has forced her to sort of become a real character instead of a joke for delivering that epilogue. So, I gotta say that I appreciate the model work that Beta's really put into her. And I think she's like probably a lot more appealing to look at now. She's kind of like better proportioned, and her facial expressions are really, expressive and unique, and read very clearly. In general, I really like what they've done with her. I think that's really a great success story that more people should try to emulate. That if you want to just get in and you're not really sure how to start, or you don't want to start from scratch, just come in and adopt a character, honestly, such as Videl.
Please, for the love of
just come
God,
on
save
in,
Videl.
You have a model to work with, and you can tweak it if you want. If you can tweak the poses, you can get some experience on that. You have dialogue to work with, so you can kind of start off already knowing how to edit and improve stuff. Like really, like that's the best way to get your foot in the door if you're not confident, or you're just not
Literally,
sure what
start
character to do. Take a character that's already in there and abandoned and make them better. I don't know why so few people do that.
Or even just like find a character that isn't abandoned and get in touch with the author.
Yeah.
See
I
if
mean,
you
I
can-
did it with Revy. Wasn't my first project, but I really enjoyed that experience. Saved her from the brink of death.
And now she's really good.
Well, thank you.
And apparently executing Natsuki or something. Oh, right, wasn't nothing.
All right. I definitely feel like I did a good job handing Saki off to Beta. I feel like that was a wise choice because Beta is an extremely talented writer and artist. I think that the new model is great. I think that the posing really helped out in Saki's weakest area. It helps her not fade into the background, which is a problem that a lot of shy characters have. I think that Beta's done a really standout job, just with everything. And I've said it before when we first brought it up. I'll say it again, and I'll say it in the future as well. Beta did a good job. I chose the right person to hand it to. All right.
Can we acknowledge that their full name is actually Beta 69?
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice.
Okay. I guess let's move on to the art contest since that's going to
Well,
be.
you guys suck at improv. You're not supposed to crack up in the middle of it.
We cracked up at the end of it. It's fine.
How many more nices
Cut the
did you
laughing.
want? Did you want us to
Nice.
say nice 69 times?
Nice.
Were you
Somebody
counting?
count how many times that was.
It's like 14 or something.
Let's go over the art contest. So the art contest ends tomorrow.
It does.
Let's go over.
What is the art contest?
It is the 4-year anniversary of SPNatI recently. And there was an art contest that was going on. The prizes for that are crazy, ridiculous good. The SPNatI art contest was for our 4-year anniversary. There's a bunch of different prize pools, including resort power-ups, survival, unique subreddit flair and emoji on the development, 100 lines from the mods. First come, first serve. Pick a theme for the future trading card night at the inventory set. Mod rewards. We've got Orange Dress doing a. Basically, he'll search down to the very last atom of your character to find bugs and proofread, and he'll fix them for you. Viz will pitch and attempt to implement a new feature to SPNatI or Trading Card Night at the inventory. Pat will help you make an epilogue. Cog will do hundreds of lines. The hundreds is dependent on how much he likes your thing. And Nmas will make 500 lines for a character for you. So, a lot of good prizes.
What are all the entries?
Well, let's see here. We've got an entry from Yuri Space Pirate, and I'm gonna have to do some editing and censorship here.
And she got Revi's strip order wrong.
I think that you'll find that you got Revi's strip order wrong.
Damn.
I
Once
literally
again-
stole that comment from Yuri.
Once again, I didn't make Revi's strip order. I just said I adopted her.
Revi's strip order made you.
All right.
Sometimes I remember that OSG actually gave her to me, and then he died immediately. He came back just to do that.
That was very nice of him. Then after that, we had Not a Blacksmith's drawing of Zontan. We had Horse Killer with a a comic.
A 4 coma?
No,
No.
Just 2.
yeah.
Actually, Revi's featuring in a lot of these.
Yeah, she's not in my entry, which let me put up. 25 characters from SPNatI in the style of Fire Emblem GBA games.
I really like the work you did on Maya's outfit, but she looks smug as fuck.
Notices your line count. Is that it?
What does she know that I don't?
She knows she has a bitchin' line count, and she's better than you for it.
Futaba over there kind of reminds me of John Lennon. All right, it wasn't that funny.
I know. I feel you, dude.
Alright, here we've got. Okay, if it'll let me paste, we've got Blue Coin's art of it looks like Ayala fighting Chun-Li.
With Sei looking taller than she usually does.
And I'm not even going to attempt to censor that one. That's just very explicit.
The blue coin drawing?
No.
Superfluouses.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not even gonna try to censor that one. I can
Just a big blur on the screen, basically.
I can censor Yuri's because there's only a little
just do
bit
the
there.
Japanese thing where you put a tiny little white line over like her clitoral hood.
No. Then
that
underscore and Saiga got did some fan fiction.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like the reason those censorship laws continue to exist is because nobody wants to stand up in Congress and go, "We really need to get rid of that."
That sounds like Japan.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And Raptor and
We've
the
got to
Lonely Phone
decensor the
Box.
porn.
Raptor and the Lonely Phone Box also did a fanfiction. And Niels did one, but it's like he did a series of images, but there's so many of them that I'm not even gonna bother putting them all in. I'll just probably put in like the last one.
Would you like to read aloud all the fanfics?
Nope. So
There was one with underscore. I read that one, and then it ended with Marinette and Vriska fucking.
Nice.
And then I read Raptors too, and that also ended with a bunch of people fucking.
I mean, if it doesn't end with a bunch of people fucking, I don't.
Doesn't really count as SPNatI.
Yeah.
all right. So that's the art contest. The results should be going up probably around the time this episode goes up.
Cool.
And then I get to start slaving away at more code.
Yeah, congrats, dude. Not like
Yeah.
you'd be doing that recently.
Also, let's briefly touch up on the upcoming summer event that will be happening. Lots of characters will be getting a special summer skin. I know that I've got Chiaki and Rinka alts in the works. Do you guys have anything planned for that?
I was working on something for Monica and also Sayori, but then the week happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that after this.
Based on Rinka's canon skin tone, her skin tone in SPNatI is kind of like she's been out in the sun for a while.
Yep.
Will she do a handstand?
Fucking, I will end your life.
Just give her a handstand pose. That's all you have to do.
Viz, I can't believe you're betraying me like this.
You got to bring back the beach epilogue.
You guys, you know, fine. Fine! I'll do it!
You know,
Ma-
for the summer
make sure
event,
the
you could
heads
literally
look
just
up.
change the background in her epilogue to a beach.
Okay,
You could.
so I believe that Sheena will also be getting a summer alt. Sayaka will also be getting a summer alt.
Sayaka.
Ryuji will also be getting a summer alt. I say things wrong all the time, don't worry.
I know.
Weiss might be getting a summer alt.
Is it just her melting?
I don't know. I think I'm not sure how it works because Niels. It's Niels it's the new model _ So I guess just because it's a skin though, it won't have to go back to testing. Anyway,
There's a weird.
Hmm.
That's weird mod decision.
so
I'll just punch it off to the others.
well, Viz, why don't you talk about what you've been doing all week?
SPNatI is on fire.
So, at about 3 a.m. my time, last Monday, we got reports in that the site just was completely inaccessible. And then we checked our repo. It was also private and completely inaccessible to most people. And then we just kind of panicked and tried figuring out what was going on. And then we had emergency measures in place by 4 a.m. And we spent the next day or so just trying to figure out what was happening. As it turns out, GitLab doesn't like porn. So,
What?
Isn't that literally why we went to GitLab?
that's apparently what I've heard. But,
Why did it take this long?
I don't know. Thing is, I remember hearing something about another repository on GitHub that got nuked for also being NSFW or something to that effect. So that just might have caused them to start taking a look at their own thing or that might have caused GitLab to start looking over their own content and their own servers and stuff. That's what we're working on anyway.
Can you believe how oppressed we are?
I know, right?
Gamers
Feel
rise
pretty
up.
impressed. Amen.
Perverts rise up.
So yeah, then we end up spending the next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday just migrating everything over to to our new host, GitGood. And then I spent most of that time just setting up our new hosting solution, our new Git repository, and configuring all the stuff that comes with it, like the system that lets us automatically push new versions of the game to the site, and stuff like LFS enabling, and also the bots, getting those to work with the new repository as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
So what you might think is, oh, well, So the online's nuked, but at least I can still play it offline.
And then Firefox pushed out their new 68 update, which basically screwed up the offline version for anyone using an updated version of Firefox. So we had to very quickly push out a fix for that. That involves, here, use this program, just dump it in your repository, now run it. And then that got fixed. And then I went back to reconfiguring servers and debugging stuff and seeing what was on fire. And then finally, just this afternoon, like 4 hours ago, yeah, we finally rerouted all the new traffic to our new host. And then things broke for like 40 minutes, and then I had to go fix that too. But then, yeah, I think we're stable now. Nothing's caught fire in the the hour we've been talking here.
Nothing's caught fire in an hour. We're fine.
Everything was fine.
Days since an accident,
0.
0.5.
HD remix.
Or it's like more like 0.125? I don't know. I can't do fractions in my head, man.
Don't do math on the fly, man. It only gets you in trouble.
Do you guys have any questions about the migration?
It's all set up now. We can start sending in merge requests, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that butterflies migrate?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Okay, so how exactly do you run it offline? This is useful information.
Oh, so the latest versions of the repository should come with a program called startoffline.exe or startoffline.sh if you're on Linux or OS X. You just run that. That's it. It'll automatically start up a web server that you can use to play SPNatI, and then it'll also even open up your browser for you to the right page.
What server where?
Oh, so it runs a local web server.
Are you watching me jack off?
I already was. But yeah, it starts up a local web server just on your machine. It doesn't do anything else beyond that. It doesn't try to contact the outside world or anything. And it just lets you play it. Because the exact fix that Firefox pushed out that prevented us from playing the online version directly was like something involving like local HTML files trying to access other things on your system.
Which was exactly the problem that Chrome had.
Yeah. And then it screwed up some a quote-unquote popular Android messaging app. And like you could send fake like malicious attachments to people and then read things off their phone. It was probably
basically just phone posters ruin everything as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And people that play SPNatI on their phone should be killed.
NMAS does it.
Did I stutter?
Wow. Why you gotta kill my clone like that?
I mean, you just answered your own question. We got a clone.
Fair enough.
All right.
But yeah, like, do you guys have any questions about the migration or our new host or anything like that?
Probably a bunch of technical stuff that'll literally hold my hand through as I set everything up, but that's not for the podcast.
That's all right. It kind of reminds me of playing TF2 when you would set up your own server.
It's a bit like that, but a lot more complicated.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I probably have 1,800 questions because I am an absolute tech stupid. So, you know, when I eventually do try and do all this stuff, I'll probably be asking questions. I do hope that, like, you guys are able to get it to be a little bit simpler, but then again, it probably is really simple. Just because, you know, if there is a even slightly confusing barrier to getting offline entry, you just turn away more creators, I feel.
We're working on something that should help people work with Git a lot better and like make it really simple. I'm working with Not a Blacksmith on that, and we're pretty close to getting at least the first version out.
Awesome.
You mean
Nice.
like pushing updates and stuff, or what?
Specifically,
Updating the game.
this is going to help you pull up, synchronize with the official repo now. Like as in, like it's a program that'll, like you open it, there's going to be a button that says, yeah, sync from official repo.
We have that. It's called GitHub Desktop.
Well, thing is that, one of the things that broke in the migration was automatic repo mirroring from the official repo to forks. Like you can't set that up anymore, so we have to implement a workaround for that. Yeah, we have to implement a workaround for that ourselves, and that's what this is.
Okay, you did that already?
Yeah, well, not quite yet. We're still making it.
Because I signed up on Get Good and set myself up basically the same way as I did on GitLab, and it looked like I had an option to mirror the repository.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like you have to set up pull mirroring, but then with Get Good, you can only set up push mirroring. So you can't automatically pull updates from the official repo. You can only push them when you make them to other repos.
I guess I'll have to check again. I don't know. Looked the same. Are you telling me lies?
No, I actually tried setting this. I tried setting this up myself, and then that's when we found out. Oh, hey, this isn't working.
I mean, it's not really a big deal because I would just like sync it real quick before making an update. But I don't know.
All right.
We're working on it.
With all that out of the way, let's go over our upcoming projects. Mantis, why don't you start us off?
All right. Upcoming for myself is, well, I just pushed a kind of reasonably big latte rework, whole art rework, into integrative targeting of Akko. So at this point, I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna add a bit more targeting to Latte because she's kind of lacking a lot of targets. And also, I may or may not start looking at Croy again.
Ooh. What's changed?
Space.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hey Viz,
Yeah?
Are you allowed to tell us how much space we've got in the online now with Get Good?
Oh, yeah. I was actually kind of hoping you'd ask that.
You wanted to announce it live right here?
Yeah. So, our new host actually gives us around like 50, 60 gigabytes of online storage space.
What?
That's everybody. Everyone is here.
Oh my god, Viz, that's crazy.
No, it's bad.
So what does
I didn't say it was good. I said it was crazy.
We need to call.
So what does that mean? Does that mean we theoretically, would that mean a shit ton of characters would be able to go up onto the online version of SPNatI?
Yes, theoretically we can do that, but then there are some other constraints that they're not hard constraints in the same way the 1 gigabyte limit was, but then we still really want to pay attention to like these kind of soft constraints. Like the big one that I'm looking at from a technical perspective is all of the backend infrastructure that actually deploys versions of SPNatI to the site. Like that that really needs the repo to stay small so it can operate effectively. And obviously, you don't want to kill other devs with having to download a shitload of files.
Yeah.
Yeah. the repo, like a fully featured.
That's like a tenth of some people's hard drives.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
offline version right now with Git LFS enabled and like everything is like 4 gigabytes because you have to have all the stuff stored in
Not
Git,
bad.
which is 2 gigabytes. But then you also have to actually have all that stuff open and like available for you to edit. So that's another 2 gigabytes.
I think
If
there's a
you-
lot of people that don't realize that the game is done with sprites and not with like coding a model, and
Yeah.
they don't understand why it's 4 gigabytes big.
Yeah. And then if you want to work completely offline, like no internet connection whatsoever, you have to download all possible version, like every historical version of every image, which is like another 4 gigabytes. So yeah, like you don't want to kill other devs with just making huge characters or adding a crap load of characters to the game at once.
So that's why That's why you were asking about the minimum testing requirements and whether we should change those earlier the other day, weren't you?
No. Oh, that's actually something different because we're rewriting the new dev guide. So we just wanted to, like, it was a good opportunity to ask, do you guys want to change this at all?
You got to rewrite the FAQ too.
True. Yeah.
You got to mention get good. You got to mention how to open the offline version.
True.
So I find it funny that you guys have spent all this time looking for a new culling system, and now we have more space than we could possibly fill.
It's like we still.
If you tell people they have that, they'll fill it.
Yeah, like we like the function of culling in that it kind of helps purge kind of the old and like abandoned content almost. Not that it's bad, but then like we want to put our best foot forward, you know?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But like now that we have the space and culling is no longer an issue, space is no longer an issue. Is culling still going to be done?
It might, but it'll take it. It might, or we're looking at making it take a different form almost. Like instead of punting a character completely offline, characters that are culled from now on are going to be kind of hidden. Like
and you can unlock them by using.
It's like there's going to be a setting in the options menu or something that you can toggle, like
Toggle
like
historical
show-
characters.
yeah, toggle archival characters, and then it'll add a new, like it'll let you access a new window. Like if you scroll down to the very bottom of the roster, there's gonna be a button that's like show archive, like go to archival characters, and
Then
then
why
you'll see
would people download the offline version?
For
To
dev
develop.
purposes?
That's it.
That
Mhm.
would be about it at this point.
yeah.
Is there a reason to otherwise now? If you could have all the characters.
Like we're not
I
gonna.
guess-
You said there's a soft limit or a soft constraint, even if there's not a hard one. So what's the soft one?
Yeah, the soft constraint is just like keeping the backend infrastructure from choking to death. But then that's really high even compared to the old limit.
Like, what is it?
I'd say it'd be like maybe 10 gigabytes or so of just online repo space.
Such a
Oh,
big
boy.
number.
Yeah, that's still pretty good.
Well, considering the total SPNatI submissions of all time is 4.
Yeah. Huh.
So do we
There's
still
a
have the
lot
11
of-
megabyte image limit?
Yeah,
We were-
there's a lot
yeah.
of implications here.
Yeah, that's
looking
why I
at-
brought this up.
We're looking at increasing that too. Except
You
we
sons
also
of
don't-
bitches. I had to shave my characters down, and now you're going to increase it again.
Well, you also don't want to kill the player's bandwidth by hosting humongous files.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to have the player you don't want to make the player wait like to download 50 megabytes of images.
Pit already
Just to
takes
play.
like 2 or 3 seconds to load.
This is going to start getting very, very interesting.
I say just keep all the limits in place, all of them.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
we were tempered by adverse conditions and having to survive, and that made us strong. And we will become weak and complacent and excessive and wasteful, and we need to remain resourceful. So I say operate under the exact same limit.
But then you start getting then you immediately open up the argument of, well,
Johan, edit this
we
part
have
out.
the space.
Johan, edit this part out. Do you actually want me to?
This should remain private knowledge.
No!
Well, I mean, I'm authorized to tell this to everyone, so.
But you shouldn't. Some things the
look.
public just shouldn't know.
Look.
Because that opens up a lot of arguments of everybody should just be online. And
We will become weak as a species.
I don't think that they'll go crazy with it.
Yes, they will. Don't you remember Moon?
I try not to. So I think that that's gonna be fun to discuss if you guys.
Didn't we learn anything from the Extreme Exhibitionist update? Space limits are good.
I'm already picturing the 300 plus comments I'll need to read tomorrow in SPNatI General covering this, because there's going to be so many opinions on this.
Bring back Peach.
I don't think we're going to be reviving any currently offline characters, but then you're probably going to see a change in how culling works from here on out.
Boo.
There will no longer be a need.
Yeah, and that's
Boo.
the thing. Like you'd immediately get the arguments of why do characters need to be called in the first place? Because let's be honest here, as we saw with the play stats the other week, a lot of I counted like 15 kind of crap characters on there that were going to get called within the next like 6 months. And now the argument is, do you want to call those really popular characters at this point?
Yeah, the nice thing about this is
I'm
that
sure
it gives
we've
us
done
a
that
lot
before.
more leeway. It gives us a lot more leeway in how we want to do this. Like instead of our hand being forced to do this, we can kind of do what's best for the game, basically.
People, we've already called popular characters.
No, agreed. No, well, yeah, agreed. But like, now there's the argument, though. Now that we do have more space, of should we call popular characters?
Yes.
Very complicated for me because, like, I've been kind of hoping that Kyoko would get cold for a while now, so she'd stop weighing down the Danganronpas.
Gives people motivation to make them better.
Yeah.
To be honest, you want to hear a little bit from internal mod chat?
Oh, go on.
The main thing we were discussing is, like, do we actually have an argument for why Videl needs to die?
Oh, no. God, no at this point.
She's not even up for culling.
She would be eventually, though.
Will she?
Well, in the old system. In the old system, she would have been.
In the old system.
But we're in the new system, and in the new system, no. God, no.
Welcome to SPNatI 2, motherfuckers.
Huh.
But then, yeah, like, as I said, we still have a bunch of things that are kind of preventing us from getting too big.
I don't know.
Like the player bandwidth concern, like not choking our back-end infrastructure to death.
If Misty's so popular, how come nobody wants to save her? Well, actually, somebody is.
Actually, somebody is.
There you go.
Yeah.
No problem.
If Felicia's so popular, why is nobody trying to save her?
Because
Exactly.
if you save her, you will only stand to ruin the part that makes her popular. And that's her low layers.
You can fix that without. You can make her legs accurately proportioned for one thing.
Yeah, she really just needs like actual good dialogue. To be fair,
She has dwarf legs. She's a goblin.
Huh.
SPNatI needs more monster girls.
Isn't she a Neko?
Anyway, Holy shit, we haven't gotten to the questions
Fuck.
and answers yet.
But there's like so many. Oh my god, there's so many like debates and questions that this
implications.
makes and implications and holy
Yeah.
shit.
I had a feeling that something was up.
Huh.
I say
Well,
stick to 1 gig. Fuck them.
I say keep the amount of gigs, but keep the limits that we have. Like in terms of megabytes for characters and stuff.
Yeah,
I'd agree with Johan on that one.
I like anything that encourages people to actually edit themselves down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that the limits on individual characters should staying the same. That'll work out because the only characters that have really pushed that recently, like, is La Rochelle. And I think that if now that we have all the space, we can have tons of new characters. I've got no idea about now that there's culling. I guess I could have an incredibly hot take about if the character hasn't been updated in forever and they're just going to be sitting weighing down other characters sort, maybe move them to the quote unquote offline.
The archived version.
Or the archive
Archived
screen.
characters. Yeah,
'Cause,
the archived
like,
screen.
Just now that we have all this space and there's no reason for Kyoko to get killed, she's just going to be weighing down Mahiru and Aki and Chihiro until I can convince Tog to rework her. He's got the model. I've seen it. It's good.
Wait, if I remember correctly, he was just waiting, or he was waiting on the time limit to elapse, like the contact time.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting.
That's
What?
going to be a hell of a discussion.
Yeah,
I'm-
I heavily encourage everyone to make their thoughts known on that.
I'm
probably
sure
about-
they will.
No, nobody's gonna. There's gonna be no debates on this.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and I'm gonna check SPNatI General, and it's just gonna be replaced with flame emojis.
Yeah, pretty much. 500 comments, easy, dude. Fuck, man.
Hey, Discord's been spared from the fire for most of this week. Now it gets to have a turn.
Yep. See, these scary things, they come in threes. First, the GitHub went offline. Then Firefox fucked us, and now we have no limit. Oh God.
Well, really, that's because GitLab went offline.
Yeah. Well, you know.
All right, let's
All right.
move to the
The
questions.
ultimate irony is
and-
that we moved to a place called Get Good, but it's actually the space limits that encourage us to get good.
Let's move to the questions and answers.
Yep.
Starting with the personal questions. Hey, Mantis.
No,
big
that's
fan-
okay. We don't need to talk about anybody else's upcoming projects. That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck. I
I-
completely forgot we were doing that.
Yeah, we. I just said space, and all of that went off.
Okay, yeah, all right. Viz, do you have any other upcoming projects?
Well, I mean, aside from the Monica and Sayori ults, and then actually finishing up Chihiro at some point. Not really. And maybe also 416. And yeah, that's like it.
All right. SPNatI, what about you?
If you've been in the Discord, or if you saw my post that I made on the ACO thread on 4chan, I have been updating Maya's and Jura's models from Vandred, both of them at the same time.
Post
And
them. I'll put it
what?
in the video.
Yeah. I pretty much have to do that because like they have poses where they interact with each other. So it would be weird if to just have one model updated and not the other. So they're pretty much fully, like, the models are fully done. I've been reposing Jura first, and she's almost done. I just have to finish reposing her epilogues, which is quite a bit more tedious than the poses.
Post the new models so that I can edit them in.
I'll get to it. The one that I posted on 4chan is ever so slightly outdated, so I'm gonna I'm gonna open that up, Kisuke.
Yeah, this is going to be the episode that I have to do the most editing for.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
keep
it is.
talking while it loads.
Well,
But
just in general, between like the art contest and all those images and moving the snake stuff to the end.
And may or may not have to cut out that entire conversation.
people can just wonder for a while what they mean by the snake stuff. But yeah, so I'm almost done reposing Jura, and then it should just take a few days, and I'll be done reposing Maya, and then it should be good to go. I can put them right in, and I'm really excited about that because I think it's been a long time coming. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's I don't think people are going to be that excited about it because it's not like they were really all that familiar with what they looked like in canon. So to see them more accurate is not really that big of a deal for them. But it's definitely helped me gain some good experience with Kisuke, and I'm glad I chose to do it myself rather than just asking somebody else to. Because you really have that sense of satisfaction in the end, finally getting it right. I made a model of Fubuki from One Punch Man just for fun, and I think that definitely helped me with getting hair correct.
He's a guy who does Kisuke for fun.
No,
Right.
nothing about that is fun.
I hate hair.
But that really helped. Getting her hair right helped me. Oh Christ, 47 gigs.
Oh no.
Well, that's free space.
So how long until somebody in the chat here figures out what that implies?
Oh
I hope it's
no!
Like
not-
10 minutes?
Delete it.
I hope it's not Yuri.
It's gonna be Yuri.
It's gonna be Yuri.
She'll
She's
just
been
blurt it out.
online? No, she's not online. We're safe.
She
Maybe everyone's tuned
she
out.
she
because
uses
of all
light
the
mode. Can you
snake
really
talk.
call that online?
Okay, maybe the snake sex turned everybody away.
Hopefully.
They just
Cross
nope the
fingers.
fuck out of chat. But yeah, I'm grateful for the experience that it provided and all the help that people gave me in like advice and in making the new models. So I at least am really excited because for one thing, I just have a better understanding of like proportions. I mean, I kind of made the older models I think reflect more what I saw in the game at the time, which was definitely a lot like bigger heads and stuff, and sort of like shorter legs, which. And I think now that we're sort of migrating some of the better artists like Rabbit, Bagel, and stuff, and kind of, and Halo kind of heralded this, but like aiming for like more one-to-one models and less compromises on the art front. So you have different proportions basically. Their heads are a lot smaller, their legs are a lot longer, and that's kind of what you see here. So I think at least for me, when I look at the old poses, my first thought is, Christ, they're ugly. And holy shit, their heads are so big. They have like elephant head. Cerebral edema is the technical term, I think, but we'll go with Megamind syndrome. So, and I think at least everyone else will have to see them in action, but I think at least it's the mark of a good model update is you look at the old one and you just think, how did I ever find this acceptable?
That
Yep.
reminds me.
I mean, don't you think that way about Rinka?
Oh yes, absolutely. Somebody gave me a thing recently. It's a model update of a very popular character. Like,
Is it Samus?
No, they're like top
Felicia?
50. I'm pretty sure they're top. No, not like play stats. I don't have all that memorized, but I think they're like top 15 in the actual game.
I don't understand.
One of the
Mr. Solitaire is typing.
one of the most popular, one of the most like in the resort top 15 with all the line counts and votes.
Say the name, damn it.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be vague and ominous about it. But one of the most popular characters is getting an amazing model.
Do
Do they have a shitty model currently?
No, not shitty, but it's a decent model at least. But like the new model is just so crazy that it's really gonna blow you guys away when it happens.
Are you just talking about SPNatI right now?
Nope.
Is it someone that I give a shit about?
Yes.
Actually, I know that Misato and Marinette do have model updates.
No, it's
on the rocks, but
I'm not sure. I'm.
I'm sure our casual viewers really appreciate you just being you're talking about something but not actually really talking about it.
Damn.
Okay, what I'm saying is that basically there's a character that's very, very popular, and she's getting an amazing new model soon-ish. Probably around the resort. Maybe before, maybe after.
It's Amalia.
Nope.
I can't think of a character that needs a model update less.
Yeah.
I know, right? Amalia, clearly one of our worst models in the game. Holy shit, mouse.
Is it Marinette?
It's not. It's not Marinette. Oh. The fact that you're getting it wrong excites me.
Pit.
No, okay.
Revi. Ochako.
Revi's not getting a model update.
Misato has a model update in progress.
But Nanon, do you have any other work in progress?
Why should I give a shit about this character? There's not a whole lot of characters that I really care about.
Damn.
Any other updates?
Answer my goddamn question.
No.
Is it zone time?
Akko.
Futaba?
Oh,
Kazuna.
okay, yeah.
I'm gonna say that we've definitely mentioned this character in the episode.
What episode?
This one.
Oh.
Solid Snake.
Say?
Yes.
So, SPNatI, do you have any more updates?
Does it say?
No.
Does anyone have any?
Although NMAS did message me saying, asking if I would be interested in helping with a say update. So that might happen.
Is it Chiaki's 5th model rework?
No.
Is it Videl?
No.
I thought you said they were popular. Is it Samus?
No. SPNatI, do you have a...
I'm not letting this go. Just fucking say it, asshole.
Okay, fine, I'll say it, but I'm editing it out.
How kind of you.
It's Zone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, that was a secret?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I said that.
Well, you did, and I just
lied.
said... No, I didn't say no, I said,
What the fuck?
He got you, dude.
So, yeah.
You gave a non-committal answer.
Well, I didn't... Okay. I guess it's my turn for upcoming projects.
Teasing the community.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
Oh.
Summer Chiaki and Rinka ults coming. Fucking suck.
For the audio listeners, he just
God damn it.
posted who it was in the channel.
And Gen SFW.
Oh.
I just posted it in 4 different channels, because fuck you.
God damn it, why? This is why we can't have nice things.
Rip.
Man, I'm sorry.
If you want to keep your friends' secrets, then don't taunt your other friends about keeping secrets.
I'm sorry, Pat. I'm sorry.
Wow, you were thorough.
You suck. All right, fine.
Can't edit it out now, fucker.
I need a drink.
Ooh.
You think
I
I like
hope
playing
Pat-
these stupid games?
I hope Pat's not too upset about that. He probably won't be. Pat's super cool.
Well, the Raven model update was fucking awesome.
Oh
And
yeah.
so's her epilogue.
was.
So I'm expecting great things. Let me guess. Is there going to be tentacles?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Is she gonna look at Amalia and be like, "Two can play at this game"?
That would be pretty great.
Basically, get excited for the zone update. All right. My upcoming projects are Beach, Rinka, and Chiaki. I guess I'll have to update Hana again. I don't know, the Katawa Shoujo character.
Until like 3 months from now, somebody makes another Katawa Shoujo character.
It'll happen.
Actually, I do know Lily is like in progress, according. I don't know by whom, but I.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to write for her.
Yeah, someone. Oh, you were working on Lily?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is from before Chihiro. They were like in
Oh.
progress at the same time, and then stuff happened.
Yes. Fire.
Yeah.
All right. So beyond that, Dante and Janetta are still in progress. I've been thinking about doing some work on Amaterasu again. I want to redo her entire. Now that we've got more pieces to work with. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we got more pieces to work with, I kind of want to redo her model. But yeah, so that's my plans for the immediate future.
Wait, whose model?
Amaterasu,
Ah,
the wolf from Okami. So that's my upcoming project.
More furries.
The next question. All right, for questions and answers, we've got the personal ones. Starting with Mantis. Big fan of your extensive work on Latte. You had another character on testing at one point. What happened to them? Do you have plans of finishing them or making any other character?
Yes, on making other characters someday. Who knows? But yes, probably working on Croy again. I don't know. It's been enough time. I think I'm ready to start working on her again.
All right.
Yeah.
That's also the next question is.
Do you have
Mantis,
plans to revive Croy someday? Yes, I do. That's some point. Yeah.
And Viz, do you have any plans for HK416 to come back?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Like, I want to do it. I can't make any promises, but she is probably gonna come back for a third go at testing. Someday.
she's reloading.
Yeah. We're working on more dummy links for her. Don't worry. It'll come
Wait,
up.
so they're anthropomorphic guns, but it's not like Shimakaze, right? Like they just have the gun.
Yeah. It's like they're not technically anthropomorphized. It's like
They
some
just really like their guns.
Yeah.
It's not like you just load the cartridge into her vagina
No. No, it's not like that.
and then it like comes out her mouth. You just like hold her at your hip.
Hang on. There's something pinned in the girls Fortnite frontline channel. Girls Fortnite, whatever. Hang on.
Channel shelling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that ad. Didn't they get like in trouble for that ad or something?
Yeah, they did. They had to fire the entire marketing team.
Wait, what?
Okay, I'll be right back. Viz, why don't you read the question to you and then answer it?
Oh,
Wait, what did they get in trouble for? That image?
oh, that ad. Yeah, technically, that's actually not their art. That's like fan art or something.
Why were
Like
they?
it's-
I'm sorry. What's wrong with that?
Well, like the ad itself is just so cringy. And then also that's not their artwork, and I don't think they got a license to use it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you
Not
just
the
want to
fact-
fuck the guns anyway. I don't see how this is false advertising.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
the
that's
fact that
true.
Agent 47 is eating ass.
Yeah, like I don't think they got licensed. Like I don't think they contacted whoever owns the copyright for Hitman or whoever actually originally drew that art in the first place.
Which gun is that?
That's Wa 2000. She's a German sniper.
Waluigi 2000.
Wah,
Yes. Wah.
wah. Wah, why are you in my ass? Wah.
This is a fucking train wreck of an episode.
It is.
Oh fuck me, Johan's gone. That means I have
I'll
to
fix it. I'll fix it.
Wah.
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 You guys are
Did
not
you do
gonna
that
let-
just now?
You guys are not gonna let me.
Oh,
get
no,
away
this
with,
is, Found this online.
Why am I on like two of the biggest train wrecks of episodes?
So much of this is gonna get edited.
You gotta post the uncut version because there's a lot of shit. We've recorded like 30 minutes of actual work so far out of 90.
Oh,
It might be easier to edit out the actual relevant stuff and just put it into a different track at this point.
Well, let's fucking keep going.
No, let's. Next question is Vision. What is one feature that you would refuse to implement if the art contest winner asked for it?
Okay, well, I'm gonna discount stuff that's technically infeasible for me to implement. Like, I don't ask me to implement 3D models or anything like that because I straight up cannot do that. Like, I don't. How would I even do that? And I also can't implement stuff that like would force more work onto, or like that would force undue amounts of work onto other creators. Like, don't ask me to implement Fuda support because then everyone would have to change all their lines and stuff, and like I can't do that either. So then, aside from those two restrictions, one feature I'm really on the fence about is branching support. Like, you know, yes, no. Like yes, no options.
Yep.
Because
Please don't.
yeah, like there's a lot of like there are maybe a few ways to use it well, but then it's really, really easy to use that feature in a way that drags down the game experience for everyone else.
Yep.
Both like players and for devs.
Yep.
It's
So-
just markers, but you get to pick what the markers. But you get to pick the markers.
Well, no, but then imagine like a character that has like 4 yes no questions in their dialogue that play like all the time, right?
You can just limit them.
Well,
Do
4
it.
isn't like
Do it.
even if you had like 2, that's a really low limit, right? But then multiply that by 4 characters on that to a table. Now you have 8. Now you're bombarding the player with 8 questions per game.
Yep.
And then that's also 4 different possible combinations of markers that you can't predict at all. So then now, like, if you have, say you have 4 different situations for, like, must strip or something like that, that is dependent on those yes-no answers. Now you have 4 different possible situations that you have to write and that other people have to target.
Yeah. The game state is already difficult enough to try and keep track of, and that's even without branching pathing.
So yeah, there are a lot of compelling reasons that you might want to use it, but then it's really, really to abuse the feature and just make it just make it really difficult to work with and play the game.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, so that's my answer.
And with that, we are finally on to the generic questions and answers.
Holy shit.
Starting with, hey, you think you have a bad? I have to edit this thing. Question 1. What Little Witch Academia character do you want to see next? What Girls Frontline character do you want to see next?
For Little Witch Academia, Croy. Just because I want to actually finish her. But if somebody else were to make a character, probably Susie, honestly. Just complete the actual trio of the main characters. And I don't know Girls Frontline, so...
Okay, I'm not familiar with Little Witch Academia at all. So, like, all I know is that there's this one girl who looks like she's like half asleep all the time or something. She works with potions.
Yeah, Susie.
She's the cute.
She's cute.
Yes. But then in terms of girls frontline characters. Okay. Sop mod when, Nessie? Sop mod when?
Yeah. Calling him out.
That's my
He
answer.
still has to update Cora.
Oof. I'm still waiting for my crazy psycho robo murder dog. Sop mod when?
Alright. Spin that on.
Well, I haven't seen Little Witch Academia. Who's the girl that Akko wants to bang?
Amanda.
It doesn't matter anyway.
Wait, no.
It's Diana.
Sorry. I just heard girl want bang, and in the context of Little Witch Academia and Amanda.
I feel you, dude. I feel you.
Yeah, it's Diana.
Okay, so in the context of Little Witch Academia, Akko is literally like she'd be wearing the dunce hat, right?
Constantly.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
She's one of the slow children.
Yes.
Little Intellect Academia.
Little intellect. Very much so.
Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. My main point here is, I got to be honest, this is a crossover game. I'm really not interested in seeing characters from the same franchise interact. You can actually watch their source if you want to see that.
But they can't get naked in their source.
You can just draw that.
Or have it played out in a contrived and convoluted way.
I really think what this game needs more of is characters from unique sources. So I don't want any I certainly don't want any more characters from something that already has 2 reps and 1 in testing. Like,
Fair.
they're fine. If you really want to make one, go for it, but it's not like I really want to see another one. Girls Frontline gets a pass with that a little bit because the only rep there is on testing. Well, offline because she died twice.
Yeah.
Rip.
So, she's being stripped and rebuilt, literally. But I know there's one called Vector.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is funny because it just makes me think of Vector the Crocodile.
Find the computer room. That's
From Sonic.
Terrible thing.
Bringing things back to Sonic again. And I don't know. The idea of someone bringing Vector the Crocodile to SPNatI is very funny to me.
That's Vector.
Ooh. All right,
She's
I vote
cute.
for her.
Okay, I literally thought you were going to post Vector the Crocodile.
We could.
All right.
That's all I had to say.
My answers are Amanda and IDW.
Please, no. No.
Howard.
Tender doesn't even have any gifs of Vector. What the fuck?
All right.
I don't want a screaming cat. I don't want a screaming cat girl in my game. Please, no.
Have you learned any useful techniques for outside of SPNatI from SPNatI?
What did I BS? Um. I don't know. I guess SPNatI's kind of made me slightly less technologically inept. Only slightly. Very, very much so slightly. But, I'm a little bit better at it, at least. That's the only thing I can kind of think of up the top of my head.
What about you, Vision?
I've learned so much about Git and JavaScript and the web environments from SPNatI. You have no idea. You saw a bit of it this week, but then that's like barely the surface, almost. So yeah, I learned how to be a better programmer.
SPNanon, what about you?
I don't know. I don't know about any specific techniques, but I've gained some Photoshop experience. Basic functionality there, and I guess you could say like GitLab and just general community management and projects. Work and working well with others. Shame I can't put that on a resume, but it's still useful experience.
Just say you signed an NDA.
Even something as simple as just a better sense of posing and like how to pose a character, how to, what looks good artistically, like how to shade hair and things, like just using a proper light source or like a line of action with a pose, just stuff like that. Like, you kind of gain that if you need to, or you gain a better sense of that working with something as limited as Kisake, because you have to kind of pick out what looks good. So, I almost see this as like a useful stepping stone, that if I ever wanted to like get into any other kind of art, like at least it gives me a better sense of kind of what looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Just proportions, things.
Yeah.
Like you can make an epilogue, and you can still like try to make it cinematic and use like proper shots and things to tell your story better.
I used to draw a lot in my free time, and like all the Kisakai work that I've done has like I hadn't drawn in a while, and I just did a shitty sketch while I was at my job the other day, and I found that like all my practicing Kisake has like made it so it kind of feels more natural when I actually draw now. That and moderating the social Discord has taught me some skills in like making people not set things on fire.
They still will, though.
They do every once in a while, but it's also made me have to like step up to the plate in a way that I haven't before. And I feel like that's helped me grow a bit as a person. And also, I had to learn audio. I've had to start working on audio and video editing software to get these episodes going up.
Bless you.
And when I worked on Hanako and I had to redo her image one at a time in GIMP, that happened. So it's helped me learn image editing. I've learned a lot working on this game. Almost none of it for the game. Okay. Long question time. In episode 31, you noted that many prospective character makers were turned away by the difficulty in learning enough Kisake to make models to 2019 standards. You further suggested that those feel overwhelmed in that manner. Ask one of the community's artists to make them a model. Why do you believe that so few do so? My hypothesis is that asking someone to make a model superficially appears to violate the instructions to make character yourself instead of asking for it to be made, and thus most don't. What do you think?
I think it might be partially that, but I think it's more along the lines of most people people are just incredibly socially awkward and just find it weird to ask someone else to make a model for them, especially if it's their first character. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like there's just that inherent awkwardness to be like, hey, SPNatI, could you make me X character?
No.
See, there you go.
Should ask me.
Hey, Johan, could you make me X character?
Done.
If it's
Oh, wow.
Danganronpa or
quick.
Pokemon, the answer will be yes.
I mean, not even that. Like, I'll elaborate a little more when it's my turn to answer the question. For now, Mantis, you want to keep going?
No, I think that's basically what I wanted to say. It's just, I don't know. Just I feel like it's just that inherent awkwardness.
In my experience, like, well, when I first started making Monica, I was pointed to the the model she uses right now, which is from someone named Robotnik, I think.
Yep.
But then like I took a look at her at first and I was like, because it's Kisake, so it looked really kind of weird to me. Like it didn't feel like her. And then I wanted to try and see if I can do better. Of course, this was like I was like 2 weeks old on the server, and I had zero experience with Kisake, and I put something up in like 30 minutes, so it looked like absolute crap. And then people told me so. So then I just kind of begrudgingly started using the model that was provided to me. And then I got used to it over time. But I think that might be part of it too, just like that kind of inherent disconnect between Kisake's art style and like the art style of the source. Just kind of like it turns you off because then it doesn't look right almost.
Yeah.
I remember my first ever reaction to seeing this game was like, oh, get a load of this. What's with this weird cartoony art style? But of course, the models were way shittier back then, so.
And they all had the same face.
Yeah. I was greeted with like Hermione's model. So, it was only by the grace of the menu that I understood who it was supposed to be.
All right. So, do you want to like elaborate? It's your turn to answer the questions now.
I don't know. Namasp is posting things in chat, and it's distracting because I think he's talking, but it's Mantis.
Hello.
Yeah, you two need to meet up.
I know, right?
You should like answer the phone for Namasp when like Napsu is calling him and see how long it takes for her to get that it's like not him.
Hello, Napstu. It is I, Nmasp.
I have
How
just
are you?
returned home from selling hemp.
How are you doing today?
Okay.
I will now proceed to stuff my face full of pie.
I think it's really just
let
like
me do a radical air combo on a child. Gotta sneak that one in there. Every time you bring
he stopped time and summoned a steamroller to crush the small child.
Nmask shows that child themselves in the future, and they're already dead. Erases time.
Okay. So as for the question, why don't people ask others to make models for them? I think it's really a question of the medium and where exactly they're asking this. If they're just asking on like the subreddit discussion sticky or like ACO or some other place that's just like calling out into the wilderness, then yeah, you're not going to get anything. So I think what really, what devs and people who like making models like is, demonstrating a bit more interest than that and actually coming on to like the Discord or something and showing that you're actually really invested in it. And because nobody's just like, can someone make, I don't know, Ezra Scarlet from Fairy Tail or something? and then they just say that and fuck off forever. It was like, well, obviously nobody's going to make a model for that. But
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think just showing, like, just having some dialogue ready would be really good. Like, maybe having 50 to 100 lines of dialogue ready before asking shows to the person that you're asking, oh, you're actually serious and wanting to make this. Like, when before I approached Phonebox and making Croy, because he had a really good Croy model, I wrote like 100 lines of dialogue just to see if I wanted to actually do it as well. And then from there, we sort of went back and forth as to how we wanted to do things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they might just feel intimidated, like no one's going to have any interest in their character, which might be true. You know, if it's not like a really like an anime character or something that a lot of the devs would probably be into. If your tastes or in source material are a little off the beaten path for what's conventional right now, then you might be intimidated by that. Still get a lot of people complaining about all the anime characters in a game that uses an anime character creator.
Yep. And it's only going to get worse because now we have 60 gigs.
Please no.
I don't actually think it's going to get worse. To be fair, I don't know what my opinion is yet.
So
anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential reasons, but really just I think it's more an issue of them not reaching out in other ways than not specifically thinking, well, I shouldn't ask for a model. I mean, a lot of them probably don't even go through the effort of trying to make one themselves or like trying to figure out Kisake.
Very true.
So they're just like, fuck this.
All right. So this is an interesting question to me because recently a dude showed up on the development Discord and he had revealed that he was working on Mithra and
Mithra from
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Your favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he said that he had a lot of lines done, and then like he posted the model, and it was generally received. Not like people didn't like tear it to the last atom, but people said that there was work that could be done on the model, that it wasn't as good as standards are these days. And he said that he wasn't really interested in redoing the model. He had more the fun part to him was doing the writing. But like,
man after my own heart.
Yeah, that kind of passion to work on the game. I don't want to see that go to waste, you know. So I offered him I offered to make a model for him and pose her even and do all that stuff. And he took me up on it. And then I did that over the span of like 3 or 4 days.
Speedy boy.
Yeah. So I feel like the reason that most people don't take us up on it is because maybe maybe we're underestimating the intimidation behind writing as well. Like we're always saying that Kisakai isn't very intuitive. It takes some time to learn, but like you can offer people, like people have written stuff. I feel like the people who are gonna write stuff are gonna write stuff. So that's my answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is: would you ever accept a character not made in Kisake?
I don't think I'm qualified enough to answer that question.
Well, okay, like they'd obviously have to like fit with the scale and general perspective that the main game offers. But then, I mean, at least from my perspective, if it looks like Kisake, at least, what's the difference? Like, there isn't really much of a difference between a character that is made in Kisake, but then has a hidden code, or like just doesn't have the code in the repo, and a character that just straight up is not made in Kisake. In the end, it's just a bunch of sprites. And as long as the perspective and the scale stays the same, and like they work, so to speak, with the other characters, then it's fine with me. But then I know others are gonna have differing opinions. So
Yeah, like doesn't like Twilight Sparkle have like a shit ton of her like poses and stuff like that done outside of Kisakai?
Yeah, Horsecat's an artist. Like he just drew a bunch of shit for his characters,
Yeah.
and you can tell because it looks good.
I think
it's
he
really good.
said recently that he's been trying to make more of now.
I think you cut out a bit there.
Oh, he said recently that he's trying to make more of it in.
One more time.
He said recently that he's trying to make more of it in engine now.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
So, SPNatI, what about you?
I mean, I'm not a mod. I don't get to accept the things.
Okay, but what if you were, though?
Mods are lame. Be an outlaw. Screw the mods.
Okay.
This motherfucker Vision works his ass off trying to save the repo. He does it for free.
Amen.
This man does it for free.
Let's go, Vision.
Yeah.
Thank you for all of your work.
Thank you.
That was supposed to be insulting.
Oh. Fuck you, I guess. Which direction am I supposed to be going here?
We're all screwing you, Vision.
Okay.
We're profiting off your sweat
And tears.
for no monetary compensation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure monetary compensation would actually be more effective punishment than not, because then it opens me up to getting sued into oblivion.
Yeah.
It's like, please, I don't want your money. I don't want to get sued.
But I want to give you my money.
We refuse to let our work be tainted by the dollar.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Would you ever accept a character not made in Kisake? I mean, they'd have to look somewhat like the Kisake style, right?
Yeah.
Would the mods accept a character that was just like, I don't even know. Like they have sprites, they have images, but they look absolutely nothing like any of the other characters. Like even slightly.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, they have to look and mesh with the other characters in the game.
I know there's a pretty wide art style variety, but I mean, you can kind of still tell they all came from the same basic functionality, right?
Yeah.
So it's either, I mean, if a character was like completely drawn or something, they'd either be the absolute best looking character or the shittiest of all. Imagine like some like MS Paint looking motherfucker.
Like a fork.
Yeah.
That's an obscure joke.
Yeah, it is.
Basically, some underage kid came into the Discord, and before we banned him, he wanted to fuck a fork and a magnifying glass.
Wasn't it a spork, actually, now that I think about it?
I think it was a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Anyway, the internet is screwing up kids' sexualities even more than before. We used to have furries, and now we have like farting Minecraft and fucking household objects.
I hate those farting Minecraft ones.
Yeah. So really, society's fucked.
Well,
Yeah.
It already
And
was.
SPNatI, until the introduction of Leggy, of course, was a bastion of vanilla wholesomeness.
Yes.
Yeah. Opal
Yeah.
is doing
We are the
Moon.
Garden of
damnedest to bring it
Eden.
down.
We are the
Moon.
Garden of Eden in a world of Sodom and Gomorrah Patreon porn shit.
And
You
now,
You don't think
Degeneracy.
Moon
and now
was the
God has
serpent?
come to smite us with server fires.
Moon was the serpent.
And Leggy was the sacrificial lamb.
Yep.
The golden calf, if you will.
All right.
Opal, make that her epilogue. Just tie her down to like a table or something. And just
Have
run
a-
a knife through her.
Have a bunch of Israelites just worshiping her.
And then just have her die at the end of it.
But instead of
Some
bowing
guy
to her, they're
sitting
all
there,
jacking
he's-
off to her.
Some guy sitting there with a dick in their hands, just like, I am. I don't think I'm on with this anymore.
Thou shalt not beat the sheep.
Just comes up in big bold text at the end of it. It's just like, I feel judged right now.
All right. Next question is: we've had a lot of new mechanics introduced recently. Are there any you would especially like to see more creators make use of?
Oh fuck, what'd I say? I gotta write all this stuff down because I don't think well on the spot. The pose maker ish. I think the pose maker is really cool once you actually kind of figure out how to use it. But and it could be used for like some really, really cool like integrative stuff. But I also fear overusage could be a thing as well. So like I think it could be used a lot more for really cool character and really cool character moments, but like breathing animations and shit like that is just superfluous and pointless.
Please don't make your characters blink.
Yeah, there's no point. It's just incredibly off-putting.
All right, Viz. What about you?
For me, it'd have to be the dialogue formatting options, especially for like tandem characters and whatnot, because then that I think really helps clarify who is talking to who, and then also because it could be cool, but then also please don't overuse it. Don't make your character's text blue all the time. That's just stupid.
SPNatI. What about you?
I was thinking background targeting, but because that's something I need to get to. But then I remembered that I personally never use anything but the default background, so I wouldn't really care. I'm not sure what to say. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the game as is, honestly.
I agree. I think that if you just like I'm gonna agree with the pose maker, but I'd like it to be used in a manner similar to how Caulifla uses it. She uses the one thing, or well, she has the power up and the power down, but just moments like that where it's really cinematic, but it's only like two total poses. I think that if we got stuff more like that, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Like to accentuate really cool moments like Akko's transformations and stuff like that.
All right. What is a source that you never want to see a character?
Oh, there's so many stupid sources.
Fire Emblem.
Wow. Any children's show would just be the worst.
I see people like request stuff from like the Loud House or like other like Cal Arts, like Western cartoons. It's like, aren't all of these characters children?
Yeah.
Why do you want to fuck them? Do we need
Why
to do we need to send you to like a sensitivity seminar on this shit?
Why are you whistling there, Johan?
Nothing.
That's his mating call.
Just put my Sandy files somewhere safe.
Ooh. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think.
What's the bigger insult to Steven Hillenberg? Playing sicko mode at the Super Bowl or Sandy and SPNatI?
I think you mean
I'd actually be down.
the greatest monument.
I'd actually be kind of down to see Sandy and SPNatI. I'd be kind of down actually. Now that I think about it. Okay, any like children's show where it's like actually children, but then again that breaks TOS our terms anyways. Fuck it. Next person.
Viz?
Yeah, honestly, it's like sources I never want to see characters from are basically like children's shows, and then also to a lesser extent, also I just don't want to see characters. I wouldn't really like characters from live action sources, but then because then it's always like weird.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Whenever someone like brings up a live action character, I'm just like, well, you want to fuck the actress, right? That's what this is.
Yeah, like I wouldn't like. It's not like I would never want to see a character from, but then I would just kind of stay away from it.
Like I know it's not technically a real person, but it is. It just is. You're role playing as a real person, and it's weird. That's why we have 2D stuff, so we can be degenerate perverts, but not harm real people.
Yeah,
because the people drawing them are also degenerate perverts.
Yeah,
It's a victimless crime.
That only affects degenerate perverts.
So is that your answer, Spinanon?
Yeah, sure, whatever. just like stop wanting to fuck kids. Like, what is so hard about this? Stop watching. Okay, first grow the fuck up. Stop watching children's cartoons and watch some, real literature, some real deep art, such as anime. Some real art house stuff.
Yeah.
Stop wanting to fuck kids. Like, it's not that hard.
Remember, folks, manga is literature.
I'm going to agree with everything said here, and I'm also throw in rants into that.
What?
As a source that I don't want to see a character from.
Sengoku rants. He has a sword and he rapes women.
Okay, I got 3 letters into looking that up, and let's just not look that up anymore.
And apparently you're supposed to relate to him, or he's supposed to be likable, which I find really hard to believe.
Well, who doesn't love rapists?
Stop fucking kids and stop raping people. Jesus Christ, is this so fucking hard?
It's always the things you think you shouldn't have to explain.
Every goddamn time I look up doujins of fucking anything, it's always rape. Fuck off with that shit.
I just want to see love and affection. What is so hard to understand about that?
Can you think of no other way to make a sex scene happen? For fuck's sake.
I probably need to put up a content.
Fuck you.
Alright.
That shit seriously pissed me off looking up like Ryuko stuff for inspiration.
Oh yeah, it's all garbage.
And it's like, what the fuck?
Alright, next question is... Who is your favorite character to target?
Maya.
Maya.
Maya and Revi arguing.
For myself, I guess Akko, just because she's an in-universe character, so I can be like a lot more in depth with the targeting that I do towards her. Like with most characters that you target, you kind of got to be a little bit more general, because if let me think what I mean here. With most characters you target, I feel like you need to be super kind of general-ish with the targeting you do towards them, because the person just may never respond to those targets, or B, it's the priority on responding to those targets are going to be a lot lower. But if it's an in-universe character, the priority on responding to those targets are going to be basically number one. So you can be a lot more integrative and like kind of interesting with those targets, I feel.
I just straight up write direct questions, and if they never respond, they never respond.
Personally, like most of the targets I end up writing are just responses. So then, but then personally, the ones I have the most enjoyment in writing responses to are, at least in recent memory, Pit, and then also I think Hanako. Because then it's actually easy for me. Like they're both characters I like personally, and also I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it's easy for me to write responses to them. Like it's not just like something that would be obvious. It's like I can actually write stuff here. So yeah.
All right, SPNatI, what about you?
Good question. I guess it helps when a character, I don't know, it depends, because there's like must target situations which it can be fun trying to figure out how to give your character a unique take on that and not just sort of blandly acknowledge what's going on, and make it really unique. But I also appreciate characters who are who are a little more normal, and you can just at any point just kind of ask them a weird question. Because my mind always starts racing with like stuff I can comment on whenever I like play a game with a character. So it's hard to think of anyone in particular. I mean, a lot of it comes down to, if I don't know a lot about a character, then I'll try to like just ask them questions, like as my character basically, and try to start that conversation so they'll talk about it. Because I figure if they're not going to add generic lines about it, then I'll just force them to explain it somewhere.
Of course. Good call.
Of course, they could just never reply anyway. Oh man, I really need to get back on track with targeting stuff.
Same.
These art updates are setting me even further back, but it's necessary because, God, they have huge fucking heads, and I really need to shrink them.
Tiny heads is the new meta.
It's making me uncomfortable. I didn't want to say it before because then everyone else would be like, God, they have huge fucking heads. But now that I'm changing it, I feel I just need to let loose. What the fuck was I thinking?
Oh wow. God, they do have huge fucking heads.
I know, right? It's very uncomfortable.
I feel intimidated.
It's, when you make a big update for a character like this, it really it's a good feeling, because that means that people loved your work even when it was absolute shit. Like I look at that and I'm just like, how the fuck could anyone enjoy this? And then I see people enjoying it and I'm like, well, I must have done something right. If people love me when I'm shit, imagine when I'm at my best.
And it's coming.
Soon.
And then the ultimate irony will be that they don't like the new models.
Don't
and
worry.
then next
it
feedback
happens.
poll will be hashtag bring back Megamind.
It happens.
I'll make sure to post that the second you post your updated models.
Okay.
For me, it depends on which character I'm targeting. Normally, if there's a character that shares a universe, I can have fun with that. Otherwise, I always find myself finding something to write for Futaba. Ryuko is pretty fun to write lines towards as well. And Amy is also a must target that never really feels like a chore. Like, it is something I have to do, but it never feels like a chore. So those are my answers. Next question is, if SPNatI was made 10 years ago, who do you think the most requested characters would be?
All right, let's take ourselves back to 2009.
Well,
It's we have Obama.
Obama
And-
would probably be the most requested character.
You're
You're right. Yeah. I think we need Obama in SPNatI.
He's not a real person.
Yeah.
We just have to. We have to go with the anime version of King
What was the most
Omaha.
What was the most popular anime in 2009?
I
Fairy
actually
Tail?
looked this up. Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood aired in 2009.
K-On! Aired in 2009.
Yep, K-On! Aired. Haruhi was approximately around her peak around that time as well. So
You know, I don't think we had Kisake then, did we?
we
Probably not, since that's...
Oh god, Kisake version 1. Can you imagine?
Jesus Christ.
For the sake of the question, let's say we do.
There's also Bakemono Takari.
This is
I think-
Bakugan.
You know, I think a lot of the kind of like the original characters that Spinetti had, like Tifa and Peach, stuff like that, they were a lot more popular, or like Asuna. They were a lot more popular 10 years ago. Was Sword Art Online 10 years ago?
No.
I don't fucking know.
Asuna is still like super fucking popular.
Slayers was 2009? What the shit?
Did we have Keitai Finds a Way?
I'm just looking at like 2009 anime. Spice and Wolf.
I'm surprised we don't get more like Holo.
Well, hey,
versions.
we had Vandred in 2009.
Hey,
Definitely the most requested. Definitely.
we need Maya and Jura and SPNatI.
Oh fuck! I don't think I have the time to do that.
Yeah, I know. That's like 10,000 lines right there, dude. Like, fuck.
Oh wow, they did do Slayers.
Gurren Lagann was 2007.
Ooh. Yeah, we'd
So-
probably see a lot more Yoko requests as well then.
And I'd still not do it.
There's a lot of characters that had a lot more star power 10 years ago, and now the Zoomers just don't care.
Nope.
Like Tifa, like who gives a fuck about Tifa anymore? She was
literally
hot in
getting a
2006.
remake. She's seen a bit of a comeback due to the remake.
Maybe Naruto characters,
Oh, yeah, probably a lot more
Yeah.
Naruto characters.
One Piece.
Yeah.
That was like the peak.
I would kill to see a Haruhi Suzumiya character in SPNatI, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of would too. I definitely think Haruhi would probably be the most requested in 2009 because that was like a few years after that show aired, but like it was still huge as fuck.
But the Haruhi were still around.
Yeah, exactly.
What are all the characters that we wouldn't be able to have
What do you mean?
just because they didn't exist in 2009?
Cog
Kazuna and Ryuko and
made a post a while ago.
right, all the Katawa Shoujo girls and Doki Doki girls.
The Witch
LWS.
Academia.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of stuff.
What about the Danganronpas?
a lot of characters.
Danganronpa. Oh, I feel like. Yeah, it was out in Japan by then. At least the first one.
Was Zone Tan even a thing
No.
back in 2009?
No, Trigger Happy Havoc released in Japan in 2010.
Oh,
I don't know if Zone Tan was a thing. Zone was a thing.
Yeah, Zone was a thing. Zone Tan might not have been a thing back then. Persona 5, Thursdays would just be out of a job.
There's Persona 3.
All right.
Maybe Thursdays would make Persona 3 characters then.
And maybe the original Persona.
Oh fuck, My Little Pony would just be out as well.
I'd say Kid Icarus would be forgotten, but we did have Brawl. By then,
Yeah, Persona 4 would be possible.
True.
really,
Yeah.
there was that much of a gap between 4 and 5.
Yes. You have no idea the development hell that was Persona 5.
I have no fucking clue. I don't care.
That game was coming next year for like 5 years.
Well, at least it wasn't like a Duke Nukem Forever situation.
And it was actually a good game.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Ruby would be completely out 10 years ago. Fire Emblem, a lot of Fire Emblem characters would be out.
Yep.
Really? Because they
You'd
come from like GBA. Well, okay, Fate's characters. That's true.
Yeah, so we'd lose Corin, Rinka, Lucina,
I think the only one that would stay is Lynn.
and Florina,
We
Oh,
would end up losing
and
one of our
LaRochelle.
frontline characters.
And Rochelle.
HK416.
No Marinette, no Ochiko. Did Wakfu exist?
I think Dofus might have existed, but not Wakfu. I know the TV. Oh wait, no, the TV series was 2008. So
Just
it
slid in
would
there.
have. Yep.
believe
Slid right in there like a vine tentacle.
I believe our highest ranked character would be Revi.
Jura.
Oh, right. Fuck. Yep. No, Vandred.
Heyo, 2000.
Ayo. There you go. True.
Oh, actually, yeah, we would probably see a lot more Ava requests.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, the rebuilds were coming out at that point.
Yeah. We'd probably actually have like Asuka and Ray on the roster.
I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen more Ava requests now that it's on.
We already have 2 Rays on the roster.
Maya and who are you referring to?
Say.
Say,
Oh, yeah.
Say has Ray's hair more than Maya does.
Say it.
I guess
Maya and Ray.
My Little Pony wasn't a thing. Well, I mean it was, but not the current brony one.
Yeah.
If only they realized the hell that they would have unleashed on the world.
All right.
Anybody else of note?
I mean, maybe people asking for Eris.
I don't think we would have Miko.
The
I'll have to-
Toho?
Yeah, I'll have to look up on the Toho's.
Toho's pretty old.
Yeah,
Well, it's like from the 90s, but I don't know what game Miko's from because they all sound the goddamn same. We had a whole game about it.
Yeah.
it was, I think, 10
Well,
Desires? Yeah, 10 Desires.
Okay, guess what? I think we need to go back to this timeline because we wouldn't have Moon.
Ooh.
We still have Samus.
Ooh.
Whatever. That's fine.
We gotta
I
get
can live with that. Samus
back
doesn't.
to the past.
Samus doesn't
Don't worry,
disgust me.
Stan.
Okay, yeah, we would have Vermilion, but we wouldn't have Miko.
Samus is just lazy. Moon is offensive. Moon is taking something beautiful, which is internet porn, and making me feel bad for enjoying it. Like I'm exploiting these poor women. Poor fictional women.
Would we have Saki?
We wouldn't have the Overwatch girls,
Nope.
and now in 2019 it's dead anyway.
Wow.
All right. Let's move to the next question. If you were to inherit a project that was dead, who would it be? What would you change? Follow up. This is Napsu. Hi. If you take a model without permission due to dead author, do you owe it to that person to not change things, or is it fair game?
Technically, I didn't ask OSG for permission to update Revi's art, but I did anyway.
Yeah, I consider it like if the author's dead, like really dead, then yeah, it's fair game to change anything.
'Cause really, who are you respecting? You really, if they cared that much, they'd be around.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they're like dead, in which case that's sad.
Oof. But then still,
Yeah, and then still, we can make changes if changes need to be made. If I were to do a rework, though, I'd probably do a rework of like Princess Peach or something. I think Peach actually has a lot of potential as a character. If I
How
want,
so?
I don't know. I think I could do something interesting with her. She would be pretty fun to do. I'd have to like work on the writing for it, but I think she'd be fun. Also, if I just wanted to sell out hardcore and just become like one of the top 10 most played characters, easy. Make Princess Peach.
Hmm.
You ever just descend into the ocean of Princess Peach porn
Yeah.
and think to yourself, it's kind of like staring at the real ocean because it's impossible to see all of it.
Yeah. It's good.
You just
Time.
look at it and the expanse just blows your mind. You can't see past the horizon, and yet there is more out there.
Just do as the Romans did and start waging war in the ocean. Try and go out there with your spears and just jab into it.
This is a reference I don't know.
It was some dudes declared war on Poseidon.
They start.
What did they
stabbing the
do? Like
ocean.
shit in a river?
I think they tried stabbing the ocean.
Yeah, he's the Lord of the Ocean. No, wait, is he water or just the?
Is there a god of rivers? They all feed into the ocean.
We need to cut off all the rivers. Drain the life supply of the ocean by cutting off the rivers. This is a genius strategy.
So, wait, Mantis, did you?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. What I would do.
All right, Viz.
Thing is, most of the dead characters I really don't know. Like, I've never really looked too hard at them. But then, if I had to pick someone who was at least seems to be dead, like probably maybe Ami, the blue-haired girl. I'm not sure if she's actually. Yeah, I'm not sure if she's actually dead. I'll have to I'd ask Andres, but she's cute. I don't know her source material at all, so I'd have to actually watch or read or whatever that. But then she's cute, and if I had to take up a rework, it'd probably be her.
Toradora is a pretty good show, actually. She'd be pretty good to pick up.
All right, SPNatI.
Who do you think I'd adopt?
Videl.
Any guesses from the other two?
Fuck.
Does her name start with a V?
See, Johan, I can give non-committal answers too.
Oh, I know who you'd adopt. April.
Who? Yeah, it's Fidel. Honestly, I think her model at present is pretty cute. Like, maybe it's not the most accurate, but goddamn is she cute. So the only thing I could really think to change is maybe give her better actual Toriyama face, which Kisuke eyes are really not suited for. So you'd have to do a lot of facial mark bullshit. But I saw someone make a super good Bulma once, and then they died forever. Of course they did.
Rip.
But she looked pretty on model, so I know it's possible. Aside from that, just give her more poses, lines. It's really all you need to do.
No. And then you could have a third angry, yells at the player a lot kind of character.
Yeah, she's not as angry or insecure as Revi and Ryuko. Sometimes I think I should have just adopted Videl instead of made Ryuko because it would have been less effort for me. Less time investment. But, what's done is done.
I think that the time was well worth it, given that she was the most popular character.
Was it worth it to me, Johan?
I mean, was it?
Was it?
Was it?
I'm asking.
Was it?
Eh.
Understandable.
I guess my answer is Kyoko. If I wanted to pick up a dead project. I don't really have any desire to. I guess I'm inheriting Janetta. That's a little different.
Janetta from?
Etrian Odyssey 5. The thing about the is it okay to change the model? Chiaki was not originally my character. I got permission for the first model rework, not so much any of the ones that came after that. But I guess I assume that, since he was okay with the first one, he'd be okay with them now. So, one moment.
Fuck it. Let's just move on. Do you think having play count statistics available to you, which just recently became available, would improve your ability to create characters? And how would it affect your enjoyment of making characters?
Okay, well, I already have the play count statistics available to me, and it does not affect me in the slightest.
All right, I'm ready.
I keep forgetting that they exist, honestly.
What? Why am I asshole now?
Muting me and go away and going away. I asked a question.
What?
We're on the next question. Do you think having play count statistics available to you would improve your ability to create characters, and how would it affect your enjoyment of creating characters? Vision, continue.
Oh yeah, like I have the play count statistics available to me right now. Like I can just look them up whenever. And
how do you feel?
I honestly forget that they exist half the time. Like it just, oh yeah, it's a thing I run. So it doesn't affect me in the slightest.
We moved on without you.
Okay.
You know snakes have 2 penises.
Do we move to the next question?
We've moved to the snake penis question. And we've also moved to the next question.
But yes, snakes have 2 penises. One on both sides of their body.
Huh.
Yeah, one to each side.
So you already read the next question, though?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's continue, then.
Okay. Play count statistics. I think the biggest thing the play count statistics showed is that if you make a popular character, no matter how kind of, let's be honest here, kind of poorly made or ancient they are, they will be just more popular than an obscure character. Like, that's obvious, but, if you make a popular character, they're going to be more popular. So I guess from that, I feel like there's like 2 lines of thought you can go down. You can either say, oh no, why would I bother making my obscure anime waifu when I could just make, a really popular character and actually be popular and all that jazz. And that's stupid because you're just going to come out with an inferior product. Or you can kind of take it as inspiration because I made probably the least popular character from Little Witch Academia, arguably, and she still gets approximately 2,500 plays each month. So, 2,500 plays is still a lot of fucking people. So my opinion is SPNatI is a really popular game, and even if you make someone obscure, they're still going to get played quite a bit. So I kind of take it as an inspiration of, I don't know, just make it. It's really cool. And it's cool to have like a comparison.
You actually should multiply that number by 2 because based on what I can see from Cloudflare, you actually about half the players we get actually don't turn on analytics.
Oh.
I don't.
Oh.
Fuck you, you're not getting my info.
Fair enough.
Understandable.
Zuckerberg.
Huh. So that's like, 5,000. Oh my god. Sometimes I look at the numbers of like character plays and the amount of like people that actually play the game, and it's just like, holy fuck. That's crazy.
Really doesn't feel that way, does it? Almost feels like our own little secret project.
Yeah.
Really does. It really does.
Really puts into perspective just how small a little enclave of this community is. despite making most of the content for the game.
And most of the decisions for the game.
That's true.
Because like if it were up to the community, if it were up to the general player base to make the game, they would keep a lot of characters in the game that are kind of at this point, but because they're Samus, they're going to get played anyways.
All right, Viz, what about you? This is something I'm interested in because you've had the play statistics forever now.
Oh yeah,
Who's talking about it already.
It doesn't affect me at all. I forget that they exist half the time, except when it breaks.
You made Doki Doki Girls. You can just assume they're doing fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I also make Chihiro in 416. And then I was honestly surprised when that one bug report came up talking about 416. It's like, people still play her?
She has a tiny head. So you've cornered the market.
On tiny heads.
The anti-Megamind fetish.
Well, they also called her a shy.
Have you answered SPNatI?
No.
Answer.
Do I have to?
Do
No.
it.
Well, it's pretty funny. I'm gonna guess that like Arndress or one of the mods posed this question because he literally out of nowhere a couple days ago posted play count statistics for the top 45 characters. After mods saying for like a fucking year that they would never do that.
Yeah. That was super out of nowhere.
And it's like, what? Okay, you do you.
Yeah.
For just months of saying, it's better for creators not to know that. And then he just posts it. Because Arndress just does whatever the fuck he wants. And we need to get him back on the podcast.
Yeah, we do.
Talk about that decision.
I definitely think they're good to have. That's a lot of games.
Multiply that by 2 forever.
Oh.
Hey, Vision.
Yeah.
You work with Arndress a lot. Can
Yes.
you confirm that he's just a loose cannon? He just does whatever the fuck he wants?
No, actually, we all talked. There was a significant amount of discussion about that internal before we did that.
Why'd you decide to do it?
I don't remember.
Boy, we're really running a tight ship here, aren't we?
Yes, very much so.
Nobody keeps the meeting minutes on this shit.
To be honest, he probably brought up the topic a while back, but then I just don't remember it.
Was it just like everyone else was circle jerking and he just said, hey, can I release the play count statistics? And he was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, all right.
And then they went back to like ERPing.
No, we were actually busy putting out fires because this is like right after the GitLab went down.
Yeah, I was gonna say the timeline of this is like everything was on
Highly
fire.
suspect.
Everything was on fire, and he was like, I'm gonna put these out right now. That sounds good.
I think we have our suspect.
Well, like this was in the...
I think Arndress submitted a report to GitLab. Get that taken down to distract everyone. It sounds like a real Aussie thing to do. Just a shit post. A mod shit post.
The modest of shit posts.
Is Johan dead?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
It's a mod conspiracy.
Yeah. I mean, so he dropped them out of nowhere. I was happy to see all my characters are doing very popular, and that's very humbling. And that's kind of what I was going back to before, with how the fuck does anybody like those Megamind ass looking models? If I'm getting that many players with those models, then I must be doing something right.
I think
so. Obviously, go ahead.
Sorry. I think Maya and Jura have the really big advantage of being sort of like older quality characters, and that's probably why they have like so many plays that they do, because they kind of do really buck the trend of being, just popular, quote unquote popular characters, because a lot of the people in the top 20 are generally popular characters, but Mei and Jura aren't really popular characters, but because they're a lot more older and their quality has been built up a lot more.
They're old to you.
True. Actually, when did they come out? Like a year-ish ago? Well, year and a
Maya,
half?
I
Two?
first submitted Maya in January 2018.
2018?
Is it how? Oh, okay.
And I first submitted Jura in April of 2018.
That's still kind of old-ish in SPNatI lore, I think.
That's before I came around.
They were like the first. They were like amongst the first wave where it was just like, oh, we're actually getting quality now.
Maya was in game when I came back from my break, and I remember you announcing working on Jura when I was still new to the Discord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I guess I don't have the proper perspective on that because it just. Well, I mean, I guess it has been a long time in the end. You know, I'm closer to 2 years now being here than anything else. But you know, I can offer a few explanations for why they seem to buck the trend there. In terms of being popular despite being obscure, and I know I can tell you the art quality isn't doing it. They have epilogues.
Yep.
They have epilogues for both male and female players. Unique epilogues. So there's that. They do target a lot of characters. And those characters often talk back, so they might pop up in suggestions a lot. You know, those line counts have propelled them to higher in the resort rankings. So they're first. You know, people see them very quickly on pages. They don't have to scroll through a lot, and they haven't had to in the past, so they're familiar with them. And you know, just in general, like, yeah, they are obscure, but I do think that, you know, I kind of struck a gold mine in terms of them being well suited for the game, because most players are men surrounded by women, and they're women who you know, have never heard about men, so they naturally take a curiosity in the player. And it kind of frees me up to write a lot of like sexually charged dialogue without being too out of character, because, you know, they're curious. So, you know, that makes the player feel unique, even if I'm not particularly into, like, just lavishing the player with attention. It just kind of comes with the territory of writing them.
Very true.
So I don't know. I consider them to be just in all aspects other than popularity. I consider them to be very good character choices for the game in general. I think they're well suited for it. And plus, they wear revealing outfits and don't actually have that many layers.
That helps too.
So yeah, people might pick Maya a lot just because she only has 5 things on.
You're
relatively easy to beat.
Yours also big, blonde, and has tits.
Yep.
I know, that really helps. And tall.
And a very revealing outfit.
Yes.
And like an outfit that you can clearly tell is pretty custom, and even like on release back like 2 years ago, she probably stood out from other characters a lot because not that many characters had as custom of outfits.
Well, that was my first experimentation with belts.
Yes, and we
It's
only
just-
had
it's
belts
been a
back
slow
then.
process of learning Kisake. But
We didn't even have ribbons, like body attached ribbons back then, did we?
I made Maya before we had belt mirroring
Jesus.
Oof.
or image attachments.
Oof.
Or copy and
Yeah.
paste.
The dark ages, man.
Yeah. Tough times.
Yeah. The trenches. And then if we had someone from earlier, like Arndress, who's been around since the beginning, he'd be like, we literally had to make a fucking friction fire to get Kisake to run.
I think Cog's been here longer,
Yeah.
the longest.
I mean, I haven't, like, there's people that predate the character editor, so I'm not that old. Yeah. So obviously, if your characters are popular, then the play count statistics just exist to stroke your ego, and obviously you're gonna feel good about it. So it's hard to know how, you know, I'd probably be a lot more sour about it if my characters weren't doing as well. So it's hard to say. I can't really look at it from an unbiased perspective, but I guess nobody really can.
No.
I don't think I need a constant report on how they're doing and the minute fluctuations of it. And I'm glad I'm not a mod to have that temptation to check. I prefer like the staggered approach that resorts sort of give, where it's a little more filtered out, and you get I guess the opinions of more dedicated players who are going to seek out and find that pull. And I think it'd be nice to every so often have play count statistics too, because you do want to see the end user experience. How does anyone pick them outside of those dedicated people that vote and in resorts and stuff. So obviously I'm happy about it, but I can't speak for everybody. Just thanks to everyone for playing them, and I'm glad that even people who are just there to masturbate and leave can still find some enjoyment out of them.
Amen.
And hopefully that will continue. Models that don't look like Megamind.
So I believe that the statistics that were shared are only the character or only the games that were finished, right?
No.
Oh.
So
I thought they were.
I don't think so.
Games finished by each character. 30th.
Oh,
April
okay, never
to
mind then.
9th of
Yeah.
July. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, games completed.
I'm sure that there are tons of people who play games with your characters and just quit because they lost as well. So
Okay.
like,
You wonder what is the reason for quitting?
Says with, like,
Is it because those characters couldn't hold their attention, or is it because they just came and they closed out of it?
probably. Well, my fear is that they lost and they rage quit.
Very possible.
I really don't understand this mentality of, oh my god, I absolutely have to win. Like, you're getting plenty of nudity. Unless you really want that epilogue, but why? I don't know.
So like, and then what Viz said with, these are only the people who agreed to let their information be known. The numbers are pretty big. They're also bigger than you'd expect.
Very bigger than I expect.
Do you think the majority of do you think that reflects the player base overall, including those who don't submit their information? Do you think it would change all that much?
I'm not sure, but
I think we'd see, we'd probably see a shift to like less or to more equality between number of players counted and the number of games counted. Because then, I'm pretty sure the casual player just only plays one game and then just fucks off for the rest of eternity.
Yeah. Oh, Johan, I just came up with another reason why somebody would start a game and then stop it. If they're doing dev testing.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So, I do that all the time.
I've probably had 20 of those latte games and then stopped them before they finish because, okay, I've seen that my thing that I wanted to see works.
What about a cappuccino game?
You're killing me, man.
So, personally, I've always been super insecure about my work. But
hey, man.
I feel like most people are. I'm not saying I'm unique in that regard, but basically, when that top 45 came out, and Rinka and Chiaki are on there, and obviously they're not high up, on the thing, but this is
hey man, high on the top 45 is on the top 45.
Yeah, so yeah, they're not beating out people like Samus. I'd be a fool to expect anything like that. But just seeing that the numbers are there, that they're pretty big numbers, it makes me think, okay, yeah, I'm not wasting my time here.
You know what? All my characters are higher than Moon, and that's what.
Hey man.
My efforts are not in vain. People are playing these characters, and so, yeah, they're not, beating out the big characters. They're not in the top 10.
I can't believe Chun-Li isn't higher.
Yeah, for real. But just seeing that those numbers are there and that people are enjoying them, and it's not like 100 people. It's thousands of people.
Yep.
That's like it's
4,544 times 2.
That's
e-
fucking
even
crazy.
even if my character was like the bottom percent, just 1,000 people played that character. That's still a lot of people. So
Yeah.
like, even if my character was the lowest of the low, that's still crazy. And it makes me think that, you know what? The work I'm putting into this game is absolutely worth it.
Amen.
It really does, like, put things into perspective that I just wasn't prepared for. Like, I think, because until now, the only numbers I've seen were, like, Reddit upvotes and views on the podcast, and that does get like a couple of hundred. And then
That's still pretty solid, though.
yeah. I'm not saying it's not. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I thought the numbers were. I thought it was like 3, 4, 500.
Yep.
No, it's actually 3, 4, 5,000 for my characters. That's crazy. And it really, like, makes me think, yeah, all right, I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to keep the ball rolling.
It makes
Not
you
sure.
wonder how like the casual player who like maybe frequents a lot of these types of porn games has come to view SPNatI at this point. Because if you've been engrossed in like character development, then you don't really get that anymore. You know, that feeling of just coming back to it after a while and discovering what's changed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You do if you're you. Not you like the person, you like the person. Fuck, okay, user.
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 Mhm.
UYU_SER. Not
He made some
users.
characters. He's dead
Yeah.
now.
When
I
he
hope
come back
not.
from the war?
Someday. Maybe. I don't know. The numbers are big. A lot bigger than I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
So much
I mean,
bigger.
I know a porn game isn't the kind of thing that people just discuss casually, but you walk around in public, I guess, like maybe like people around our age, and you think how many of them have played this game? How many have seen my work? You know?
Dude, my fucking coworker at my old job knew about it.
Oh shit.
Oof.
Did you tell him that you worked on it?
Mayhaps.
Nice. Did you get a high five?
I can't remember. It was.
Did
a
you
long
try to
time.
like feel it out first? Was he just like, oh yeah, I loved all of them except that bitch Rinka?
Oh shit.
All
And
I'm gonna. I think the only character he remembered by name was Zone.
Fair.
Why did I
even
not-
Samus?
Why is that not surprising?
Yeah.
It's the only. Look, it was a brief conversation.
It's one of those things where I think like, have any of my friends ever played this game? And I so want to drop the ball on them someday. Yeah, I made a character for a porn game. Excuse me?
I've been on a podcast for it.
I've been on a podcast.
So the next time you play Latte, just remember that dirty talk. Just imagine it coming out of my mouth.
Oh, I know. Oh, my girlfriend, I've told about this, and she kind of laughs at me a little bit, but also like respects it a little bit as well, because I've told her kind of the numbers, and it's just like, what? Really? Excuse me?
Nah.
And I've also
you
told her
gotta
the
tell
amount
her
of work.
that's you can't bottle that shit up for decades.
Power move.
God, no. Power move.
You don't want to be married for 20 years and then she's just like, oh my god, I married a weeb.
Oh no.
You gotta lay that on the table right away.
Yep.
You gotta see if that's not a deal breaker for her.
It's not. It really isn't. Oh,
Did you meet her by assaulting a small child at a con?
He's not. Oh wait, shit. Hang on. Yeah, we're talking about the mask clone.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say that's an absurdly specific way. Okay, that's how Enmas met Natsu. That's fair. No, Tinder. Surprisingly,
You assaulted a small child on Tinder.
absolutely.
You met up with them, and then you did like the rock smashing, water streaming fist.
Yep. And then she was my girlfriend. It was great.
The small child was your girlfriend.
Yes.
Would you like to take a seat over there, please?
No, please.
Maybe we should move on to the final question.
Yeah.
It's only
Last
been 3
question
hours.
is
I know, right?
characters like, well, I have so much editing to do.
Yeah, you do.
Characters
Keep
like
it in,
Moon and
pussy.
Snake
Samus,
penises.
it'll go at the end. Have lots of fans who think they should have more horny opponents or interactions with the player. Do you think the game could use improvement in these areas?
I mean, it would be nice to have like more horny characters. We see plenty of people wanting more like hornier characters, but like I feel like we need more characters that are actually that. Like Moon and Samus probably shouldn't be that, and it's wildly out of character for them to be that. But like we have like Yuri, who's a fantastic but also like really horny kind of character, and that's kind of actually makes sense for her. For Moon and Samus, it really doesn't.
Wait, who?
Yuri, Juri from Street
Oh,
Jury.
It's Jury.
Fighter. You know,
okay.
I thought you
I
were
thought
talking
you-
about Yuri Doki Doki.
Same.
she's in, guys. How have you guys not played her?
We left her in the oven a little too long.
Yeah.
Oops.
Ding.
Oops. Oh, she's ready. She's a lot more timid than usual.
We went to put okay. First, Yuri, the player came to our house and was ready for an unforgettable luncheon with Yuri.
Hmm.
And then we went to the kitchen. Ye gods, my Yuri is ruined.
May I see it?
No.
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 Oh.
But what if I were to give her a hat and call her Hanako?
Oh.
Delightfully devilish.
SPNatI.
All right. How long's the art contest? I want to make that as my entry.
You have like
Want to say 12 hours?
All right, paint. Let's go.
12? I
Oh,
thought-
wait, no, not 12 hours. Like
I'm
Yes,
joking.
the
I'm not actually making it.
14th July. Aurora Resortialis.
At this time of day? At this time of year?
In this part of SPNatI.
Located entirely within this Git repo.
Yes.
May I see it?
May I?
No.
Oh.
Hey Viz, what's your answer to the question?
Vision! The repo is on fire!
Don't worry, SPNatI. It's just the resort happening.
Help! Help!
Oh god, Firefox is dead.
But yeah, question wise, basically, yes, I really think we actually could use maybe a few more characters in that niche, but if you're going to make them, make it canon. Please.
More panty and stalking, less Moon and Samus.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, would it kill you to just pick an appropriate character?
Darkness.
I wonder what like panty and stocking would look like in Kisuke style.
Yuri's got a model. Yuri's got a real good model.
I've
Of
seen
course
like
she does.
I've seen like 3 models of panty and stocking booting around somewhere.
I'm not opposed to writing for stocking.
Panty's actually kind of on my someday, maybe eventually get to list. Maybe eventually. But yeah.
All right, spin it on.
Well, I think the thing with most porn games is that they kind of have like a design, like they're meant to appeal to a certain thing or a certain fetish. So with that in mind, like, what do you think that is for SPNatI? What is the main porn appeal of the game, if you had to sum it up?
The interactions between the characters.
No, that's I mean the porn. What is the porn?
Strike in front of other people, exhibitionism, that kind of thing. Yeah.
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 Johan?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's the sort of quasi. I don't even.
Well, not
want to
all
say
of the characters are
forced
exhibitionists, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the situation is.
You see, I think that's one component of it. But if you had that, I mean, you don't really need dialogue for that. In my and the thing is that, like, well, I guess you'll get it to a certain extent even if you lose. But in my mind, what SPNatI appeals to most of all is jerk off instruction,
Yeah.
or at least like dirty talk.
Oh.
Because when you lose, like the most common outcome of a game is that you have to, like, the characters all act as if you masturbate, and like they have to talk about that. So in my mind, that's what like the closest porn analog is.
You've got a point.
Does anyone else disagree? Like, that's why there's so much dialogue devoted to that.
Yeah, I never really saw it that way. Like, just hadn't really thought of it in
like
that manner.
Like when I first played the game, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's what this is. It's a jerk off instruction game. It's not about like exhibitionism. It's not like they're running out in public, unless you're doing the street background, which you deserve to be killed for.
I don't like that background. It kind of breaks everything.
That's in my mind what it is. It's a jerk off game where they're supposed to dirty talk with you. So with that in mind, I think most of the time character accuracy is the most important thing. I do think, and I'm not saying turn every character into a one-dimensional slut like Moon and Samus, but I think one of the most common things that a character can fail to deliver on that probably leads to complaints like this is that they don't quite get dirty enough when they have to forfeit or when they're watching somebody else forfeit, especially the player. So basically male forfeit dialogue more often than not. I think if there's any point where you really have to turn it up, it's right then and there. And I think enough characters don't really do that and don't pay enough attention to the player, or just don't drop a lot of like porn words. I do feel like Moon and Samus have kind of scared people into making characters like horny, like particularly horny at all. And like that's a place where it's really appropriate to put it. And you can still inject some character into exactly how they express that. But if there was ever a time for them to really start flirting, that's where they really should. And I think that's where a lot of characters end up like maybe feeling bland, is when they just lose and then they basically have nothing to say and they're totally out of the game because their forfeit dialogue, either self-directed or to others, is just not interesting at all, or just they're saying very little. And you kind of got to watch like porn videos where like the whole point is dirty talk, I think. And that's where you can really get a lot out of it. And I try to make that happen a lot with my characters. Like they'll talk, they're literally drop words about like how exactly you're moving and stuff like cum and dick, basically. Actual words and describing what's going on, because I think that's what the fetish that this game appeals to is.
Maybe I should do that, honestly.
Yeah, don't just be like, oh, player, you ... Just I don't know.
If there's anyone you should take dialogue advice from if you want to do popular resources, spin that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really guilty of doing that. Just player, you're doing a thing ... syndrome.
Yeah.
That's in my mind anyway, because that doesn't mean turn them completely into a slut. Like remember that they're not having sex, right? They're masturbating, and there's a difference there. Moon will just say straight up, "Just fuck me in the ass." Don't do that. But they should
Unless it
kind of
works.
you should imply that they're kind of thinking about it.
Like Sakura.
Like that's what you do. That's what they're fantasizing. When you're doing that, you fantasize about stuff that you probably wouldn't do in real life, and you don't want to give the implication that they would. But they should think about it.
Yeah.
If there's ever a time where they really need to be like sexual, it's then. And all the dialogue directed at that. And I think that would alleviate a lot of these issues. I think a lot of characters could benefit from that. I get to the point where, and it would probably make losing a lot more satisfying for a lot of people. I get to the point where I lose a game sometimes, and then they just and then I read the dialogue the characters have, and it's just not that interesting.
Yeah, I will admit, just the presence of Moon and Samus has kind of made me look at some of the dialogue of my characters and think, this is just coming off as a little too porny. I gotta cut it, or I don't like this anymore. But
yeah, I recently put out a hit on lines, Rinka's lines that are like that.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But you know what?
If they're not in their forfeit and nobody else is, then I would say, yeah, cut them.
Yeah.
But if either of those things applies, then that's when when they're both doing it, when the player and them are both forfeiting, yeah, you turn that shit up
to 11.
That's what I say. I mean, go look at like Maya's dialogue in that, I think, and compare it to like when she's not forfeiting. At least I think. I mean, it's been a while since I looked at it, but
you're asking me to troll through a forest, man.
there's
it's a big forest.
There's especially with like that dual forfeit with Jura. There's stuff where just straight up like, I can't even remember like picture him like, basically putting all of his weight on you, like pumping seed into your womb or something like that.
In his underwear. Oh no, yeah. He's hot.
It makes you laugh because any dialogue like that is kind of cringy when you're not into it at all. But,
agreed.
When you're actually trying to masturbate to it, then you have a higher tolerance for that sort of thing.
Out of context, it's just like lol.
Yeah, it always is.
In context, it's just like, oh,
that's how it always is, and it's almost like being drunk.
Yeah, all right.
Or you're just as soon as you're finished, you're just like, ugh. Did I really say that? And I think once they finish, that's the perfect time for them to be like, oh, did I really say that?
Post nut clarity.
Oh my god, what came over me?
What was I just doing?
Like that's the difference. I think is Moon just has no subtlety whatsoever. She's just like.
On.
She just fuck me in the ass.
11,
and then
always.
A normal character should have their own take on. They just need to think about it, and maybe have a little bit slip out. They don't need to actually proposition sex with a stranger because nobody does that. Nobody you want to marry does that. But they can think about it, and you should get a sense that they're thinking about it, with like actual name drops of sexual terms. I think that's what a lot of characters are missing in that regard. I don't know. That's just me. Like this is a jerk off instruction game. That's what it is.
I wouldn't put it quite that far, but then yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Like this game's art just isn't good enough to be anything else. It's all about the dialogue, in my opinion. Unless you're Amalia.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
if you can make actual poses of them getting fucked with tentacles, then you can skip the the dirty talk.
Pretty much. Yeah, all right.
That's
Well, that was my essay.
There's so much editing for me to do.
Snakes fucking.
Rip.
Snakes, in order to mate, go they form a giant ball with one female and like 500 males, and then they compete by trying to find the one female in the ball.
Oh,
So
so
it's like
just like humans, huh?
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
it's kind of like find the vagina in the penis stack.
Yes,
It's a real sausage party.
but then remember, each snake has 2 penises, one each side.
Oh.
2?
Yes.
Double the searching power.
So if you're a gay snake, you're just in fucking heaven.
Yeah, you are. Can snakes be
Mm.
gay?
Can
I know
humans be
ducks
gay?
can. I know ducks.
There are, I think, spiders and dolphins can.
Spiders?
I think.
Well, I mean, I think with the spiders, it's just you fuck another male spider, and it's not going to kill you afterwards.
Very true.
Hmm.
If I was a praying mantis and I knew that bitch was going to eat me alive once we're done fucking, I'd be gay too.
Amen. Same. How do you think I'm alive?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's if you want to live.
So thanks, guys, for coming on the episode.
A lot of
No
animal
problem.
sex.
No
A lot
problem.
of animal sex.
What are we going to call this episode? Animals fucking?
I've already named it Unlimited Snake Works.
Nice.
Not snake eater.
What?
Oh no, I'm choosing Unlimited Snake Works because it's
Solid
kind of,
snake.
because it's kind of on topic to the nearly limit, like to the
Metal Gear Solid snake fucker.
to the expansion of
The expansion of the roster.
of the roster size that we now have.
Another name could have been SPNatI is on fire, but Unlimited Snake Works is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, SPNatI, thanks for being my co-host.
You're going to say thanks after all I've done this time?
He nearly single-handedly.
Thank you for being the co-host. Is what I'm thanking you for.
Historically,
Yeah, thanks for being the co-host, man.
but not
This-
today.
This
Thank
is he's actually like saying, yeah, thanks for being the co-host. This is your last co-hosting.
Thank you for sticking through
Clean
us
out your desk.
through the snake fucking.
And thank you for listening. And you're gonna get the context if you continue to listen. All right. Well, that's the end of the SPNatI part of this episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
I never know. Whenever I look at any animal other than a mammal, I'm just like, does this thing have a dick? I don't know.
I'm just gonna shoot
snakes
Hex.
are just one big
I'm just gonna shoot Hex a message.
Do snakes have? No, snakes don't have penises, right? That would really get in the way of slithering around. How do snakes fuck? Don't they like twist around each other?
They have
I'll
a heavy
just-
penis.
I'll just shoot
What
Hex a
com-
message.
Oh,
And then
do they like? Do they like secrete it through their skin?
Snakes fucking. All right.
we'll have.
Are you-
we'll have
are you
Hex get
Googling
back to
this?
us on that.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
They're-
For now, I'm gonna go over my thoughts on Ren.
Oh, yeah.
Johan, post a picture of snakes fucking in the,
No.
in the podcast video.
Yeah.
How are those snakes fucking? They're just on top of each other.
Isn't that what it is?
Secretions.
Where's the penetration?
Oh, somewhere.
So
Is that 2 snakes coming out of a snake skin?
I'm pretty sure that's one snake coming out of another.
can we stop with
It
this?
crawled
snake?
into another
Snakes
snake?
have really derailed this portion of the podcast, hasn't it?
I don't know which animals have dicks. I need to know this.
Most of them.
How do birds fuck? I read
Uh,
once that like only flamingos have penises, so I'm wondering how do other birds fuck?
Only about 3% of bird species have penises.
What?
What do the rest of them do?
Basically, they have a combined opening for the urinary, intestinal, and reproductive tracts.
Right, they have the
Cloaca.
cloaca, right?
Yeah.
Well, how do you fuck with that? They're both holes.
Well, one of them is like this big circle twist, isn't it?
Do they just have to like kind of align them to
Yeah,
make
they
a big
touch-
tunnel between them?
one cloaca touches another, and then sperm happens.
SPNatI.
You just
Sperm
rocked
happen.
Johan's world. He thought all birds have dicks.
Well, I knew that ducks did. Also, all of this is going up in a separate recording.
Sounds
No,
good.
it's not.
Yes, it will.
Why?
Because
I'm on
this is-
fucking fire here.
This is so off topic. Get ready for episode, I don't know.
So is all the snakes fucking stuff just gonna be at the end?
It's gonna go up on its own thing.
Why do you have to ruin all my best material?
I'll keep it in.
I
Just
can't.
not-
I can't do humor with SPNatI. I got to do it with reptile sex.
It'll be fine. I'll move it to the end.
I love how you're basically just beating him down until he eventually agrees with you. That's what most of the podcast is.
I'm trying to negotiate here because he does all the legwork for the editing, so he gets to decide what gets kept in, and I'm fine with that because I'm too lazy.
All I'm saying is that we could have episode 31.1 snake fucking.
This is 32.
Yes. This would go up. The snake fucking would go up before episode 32.
They have spikes.
They have a hemipenis.
Yes,
It looks like a penis that's been cut off.
and with spikes. I'm not sure how this works.
I'm just thinking of the absolute confusion of the other people in this chat. Like, they're 10 minutes into the podcast and they're posting this picture? What the fuck?
Imagine how confused it's going to be when they get to the episode.
Are you gonna like? Is this in violation of, of Discord terms of service?
It's
Probably
scientific
not.
Are there
research.
discords for like animal penises and?
You put it like that, yes, probably.
Animal vaginas are not as interesting. I'm assuming they're just holes.
Probably.
I mean, you can't really innovate on that too much.
It's difficult to innovate on holes.
You know, ducks have like spring-loaded dicks.
And corkscrew vaginas.
And
All right, okay. I guess you can innovate like that.
It's a corkscrew penis and a maze vagina.
yeah,
Right.
to protect against duck rape, basically.
Well,
Yes, 'cause
they're all
ducks
violent
are
rapists.
monster. Ducks are
They are.
It just goes to show the most beautiful people, the most graceful that are on top of the surface are really the monsters.
Oh yes, ducks.
And that's
Epitome
and
of
that's
beauty.
yes. I don't know. Aren't geese and swans like the same way?
Geese and swans are completely different from ducks.
How?
Anyway,
They swim on the surface of the water.
so do you.
Fuck.
He got you, man.
I mean, I don't have to.
Speaking of
I
horrifying
just do that because I need to breathe. Do we have to?
I mean, technically no. But
We could talk about like butterflies fucking.
Ooh.
You're just doing this to spite me, aren't you?
Do
Yes.
butterflies have penises?
He 100% is.
What was the first penis in evolutionary history?
Biblical or like,
I said evolutionary history.
I know.
Hmm.
Probably like a cell or something from like Dragon Ball. That was a terrible joke.
This. Oh.
Butterfly mating is done the same way other animals do it. Sperm from a male fertilizes an egg from a female. No shit. I'm wondering how does it physically get there?
They
Butterfly.
deliver it in a package. A spermatophore.
There's my contrast entry.
Is that
It's,
like
25?
is that like the Pony Express?
It's like Amazon, actually. No worries.
Oof.
Goodbye, Johan. We knew him well.
Why not keep talking
Did
about
he
snakes?
did he just fall off his desk chair and die?
Rip.
You guys want to talk about snakes again?
Yes.
Sure.
Vision, I want you to tell me everything that you fucking know about snakes fucking.
Huh. Okay, so I just looked up snake penises, and something I just got linked to National Geographic. Something talking about why snakes have 2 penises.
Oh,
Is that what hemipenis means?
Maybe.
why snakes have 2 penises?
Oh yeah, they do.
Theirs are always erect. Damn.
They have 2 penises, and there's a picture of it.
Extra clitoris. All right. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to go to the bathroom.
Snakes form massive
go ahead.
mating aggregations. As in, like, there's gonna be one female, and then, like, 5 to 100 males just form up in a giant ball and try to look for her. And then they use the hemipenis closest to the female to mate. So yeah.
So I'm currently on 4chan's anime board, and they're talking about the best asses in anime. So that's what I'm reading.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I mean, really, what else is there to do?
Talk about tits.
I guess I could host the podcast. What was y'all on talking about?
I forgot.